a fight, which is doing insults as if they're these big, tough guys. It's the congressional version of a keyboard warrior. That's what they're doing. And there's something about it because they've discovered I can throw out childish insults. I can get a hot take or get a clip on Fox News or CNN or whatever it is and get my name out there. And it's not going to cost anything. We're not really going to fight. I don't really have to push policy forward. I can just be an idiot and be rewarded for it. That's where we live. You're rewarded for being an idiot.
The most important idea is basically what you've said, that there's no risk of any punishment as a result. They know that they can, as soon as they do something like this, they can go to their network that is going to back them up no matter what they say or what they do, because everything they do is always correct. So they can go to their favorite network, do an interview, and they'll talk about him like, hey, look at this guy with heart. Look at this guy fighting for you. What a funny moment that happened in Congress yesterday. There's not going to be any repercussion. And then the voters are going to watch that and say, yeah, that was pretty great. I like that he did that.
It is.
And instead of, if this had been, and maybe my worldview is wrong on this, but if this had been 30 years ago or 40 years ago, I would think voters would be turned off by that, even people who voted for that person. So people who vote for James Comer and see him call another representative a Smurf. Yeah. It was like act like grown-ups. See Mark Wayne Mullen stand up and challenge a witness to a fight. To me, my concept of the way things used to be is that voters would look at that behavior and say, no, man, you can't represent me. That's childish. We don't need children doing these jobs.
And I think it is a confluence of several phenomena happening here. One is I do think we're stupider than we were.
I totally agree with you.
At the same time, I think we were pretty stupid decades ago. Well, we just didn't see it all the time.
Maybe.
I think some of it was that. 100% we're stupider than we were. I just want to be careful that I'm not lifting up past decades as somehow sacrosanct. They weren't.
No.
We've just gotten stupider.
Yes, I think we're stupider, and I think the discrepancy between how smart we should be and where we actually are, that gap is greater.
I agree. I also think we are making consequential bad decisions. I guess and good decisions, but consequential bad decisions now. We made consequential bad decisions years ago. I mean, we look at what we're dealing with our military or different war decisions or even the way we've treated our own soldiers. So we know we made consequential bad decisions. But this quotidian stupidity that we are just peppered with every single day, that has escalated because for the first time ever, maybe for the first time ever in American society, stupidity is rewarded. I watched the movie Idiocracy that came out years ago, and I watched it recently, and it was super depressing because there were moments of truth in this movie that should have been a parody, should have been a dystopian parody. And you're like, yeah, I can see a lot of that in our society today, where the three-ring circus, the name calling, where Congress, which should be a serious institution, feels more like a reality show. We love it. We eat it up.
Well, and
we love liberal tears, and we love calling people Smurfs, and then we love Let's Go Brandon and other childish name-calling tactics. We love it.
Because, and I believe this firmly, that all of this exists because no matter what, no matter where you are politically, there is a mainstream television network that will provide safe harbor for you. That when it used to be, there were three main networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, and then CNN comes along later. But when you had I don't want to say a centralized press because it wasn't centralized. It's not government owned, but it was more middle ground for the most part. All of those networks would be tearing you apart. All of those networks would be covering your words and what you did. And the voters would look at that and say, oh, man, that's terrible. Instead, now you have mainstream networks that not only will present your words to the public, but then go to bat for you and defend your stupid words and defend why it was a good idea or ignore them completely so you never see how stupid your guy is. And that is new, relatively new. We're talking like the last 20 years or so.
And I will say my frustration comes partly because of a lot of the unseriousness is on the GOP. And that's a big deal because I disagree strongly with a lot of Democratic policies. I do believe that the Democratic Party has moved significantly left in the past 10 years. It's changing from the old school blue collar Democratic Party. I mean, this phenomenon has been documented everywhere. It's becoming very ideological and more progressive. So I disagree with that. I do think there are more serious people on the Democratic side, which means technically they could be more effective. So what do I want? Do I want a three-ring circus of a GOP? No, I want a GOP that has real people, serious politicians, serious congressmen and congresswomen who can talk to the other side, who can persuade and make their case known. Instead, this grandstanding Matt Gaetz charlatan type Republican circus that we're seeing, that's just allowing Democrats who I think you could say, oh, they're progressive, sure, but they're serious and they're trying to actually govern. That's bad. That's what frustrates me even more.
A texter here says this is like by the way, you can text us 314-436-7900, like a Democrat pulling a fire alarm. Yeah, that's also stupid. That's also stupid. We're talking about volume here. That was a really dumb thing to do. But if you add up the volume of stupidity,
because look at
one
this.
side's a little overwhelming right now.
Let's look at the House. Nancy Pelosi was Speaker of the House. Nancy Pelosi was even able to kind of reel in the fringier aspects of the squad. Like when AOC would say something, she would push back, and she kept her House in order. Kevin McCarthy becomes Speaker of the House, and the Republicans make history by having a majority in the House and voting out the Speaker and making it just a blank show. That's what it was.
Yes.
Because of a few wackos,
and
the Freedom Caucus members who are holding the party hostage, and we let them.
And now they're giving another Speaker of the House a difficult time. And they're probably going to be pretty pissed off that he got this latest bill, this funding bill passed with a bunch of Democratic help. And that leads me to the thing we always talk about, which is it is now a bad thing if you're working with the other side, but not for both sides. I think it is very clearly there are a lot of Republicans in the House of Representatives who have constituents who want them to not work with the other side. That is a badge of honor to refuse to compromise with the other side. I don't think that exists on the opposite end as much. I think there's some of it, but not to the same degree.
Yeah, I think it's volume is what you were saying.
Volume is what I'm talking about. Another text before we go to break. That GOP senator reminds me of something Pauly would do. Oh, Matt Pauly.
I'm going to pick a fight.
Yeah,
honestly,
Matt, guy.
That's a great point.
Do not cross Matt Pauly.
Anytime, any place, cowboy.
One of my favorite things that has ever happened ever in government, if it weren't a serious thing.
It was on Twitter.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Any place, anytime, cowboy.
Local news and information direct to your smart speaker. Just say, play KMOX.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Have you ever wondered how America's most successful people build their wealth? By investing in tax liens. And you can too. The Tax Lien Code Masterclass is coming right here to St. Louis, where you'll have the opportunity to learn the same simple blueprint that tax lien investor Brian Peterson and his partners have used to purchase over $40 million in tax liens. With tax lien investing, you can earn government-secured double-digit returns on your investment as high as 30%. And that's just the beginning. Listen, if you've ever been interested in real estate investing but weren't sure how to get started, this is your chance. No prior experience needed. For 2 free tickets to the 2-hour Tax Lien Code Masterclass right here in St. Louis, text code to 26022. Hurry, with high demand, seats will fill up. Text code to 26022. Get 2 free tickets now. Text code to 26022.
Hi, Ken Newbold for Newbold Toyota. 2023 is our 50th year of being a Toyota dealer, so come see us. We're on Highway 64 in O'Fallon, Illinois, or check us online at newboldtoyota.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan. In celebration of McKelvey Homes' 125th anniversary, we're having our biggest sale of the year. Save up to $89,000, get special financing in the fives, and free closing costs on all move-in ready homes. Visit The Preserve on Mackenzie Road near Watson for a variety of homes from the 400s, or Inverness in St. Charles at Bryan and Feisey Road. Don't miss this opportunity to save big and get in before the holidays. Visit McKelveyHomes.com.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-238-7360. That's 314-238-7360. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Men, are you suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? The medical providers at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. 98% of men see instant results on their first office visit. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Men are even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
But that's not all. For a limited time only, call Paramount Men's Medical Center now and your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
While no child should have to spend the holidays in the hospital, there are many at SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital who will not be able to experience the joy of opening gifts around their tree. Please join KMOX and give the gift of hope and healing to Cardinal Glennon kids and support the Tree of Hope year-end giving campaign. Your gift ensures that these brave patients can continue to receive the critical care they need during these challenging times. Thank you for giving at treeofhope.org.
Best newscast in the country. The KMOX Newsroom, national winner of the Edward R. Murrow Award for Best Newscast in America.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. A texter based on our last conversation about decorum in Congress and the lack of it. This one says, from the river to the sea, Rashida Tlaib crickets. Except everybody's been talking about her. She was censured.
Yeah.
So stop that. Stop it. Not equal. I don't know, man. I think, and I say this a lot, we have got to stop pretending like the political parties we vote for or typically vote for are sports teams, and that you have to defend them no matter what, because a lot of times there is no defense for what they do. Some of them, not all of them, but you have to acknowledge it. And if you can't be serious enough to acknowledge that, looks kind of bad. What my person is doing looks kind of bad, and there needs to be repercussions as a result of it, then you're not a serious voter. You're not a serious constituent. And I don't understand why we can't step back and look at the people we vote for and say, look, they're not doing the job I want them to do. They're not behaving in the manner I want them to behave. They're supposed to be better. And I elected them. I have hired them to do a job, and they're not doing it. Why can't we acknowledge that?
It's okay to criticize. It's freeing to criticize your side, because it's not a cult.
Expect better.
It's not your identity. It's not who you are.
The Dutchtown neighborhood trying to do something about crime. We got a guest to discuss that with us next on KMOX.
From empty office buildings to vacant storefronts, American cities are struggling to recover from the pandemic. What is the future of downtown? Odyssey news stations across the country are exploring the state of downtown all this week. Visit odyssey.com/downtown for more. And listen Friday night at 8 for an hour-long special program, The State of Downtown, on News Radio 1120, KMOX.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-728-8500. 800-728-8500. That's 800-728-8500.
Get ready, St. Louis. It's Medicare annual enrollment period. So why not make enrolling easier with United Healthcare? Whether you choose our online tools or over-the-phone support, United Healthcare will help you compare options so you can choose a plan with confidence. This is Medicare made for St. Louis. Trusted everywhere. Explore our wide range of plans by calling United Healthcare today at 1-855-MEET-UHC. That's 1-855-MEET-UHC. Annual enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th, so call today.
When choosing a skilled nursing memory care community, considered by U.S. News and World Reports as a best memory care community, choose Parc Provence, where expert care is not cost prohibitive because they understand the challenges of today. For nearly 20 years, Parc Provence has been the experts at treating dementia and Alzheimer's disease. If you're faced with making a difficult decision for your loved one, call today at 314-542-2500 or visit parcprovence.com. That's PARC Provence.com.
At 10:30, we've got sun and 58 degrees downtown at the Arch. Israeli troops stormed into Gaza's largest hospital, searching for traces of Hamas inside and beneath the facility, filled with hundreds of patients, including newborns, who have gone for days without electricity and with little food as fighting raged around them. President Biden's son Hunter is asking a federal court for permission to subpoena documents from former President Trump as part of his defense against federal gun charges. CBS's Allison Keyes.
Hunter Biden's lawyers are asking for documents not only from former President Trump, but also from top Department of Justice officials, including former Attorney General William Barr. His defense team cites public reporting suggesting that Trump applied incessant, improper, and partisan pressure to Barr and others to investigate Hunter Biden. The 53-year-old pleaded not guilty last month to charges he lied about his drug use while buying a handgun. It's the first ever criminal prosecution of the child of a sitting president. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
When Fields Foods opened in Pagedale, it was celebrated for moving to a food desert. Now the landlord of the building is suing Fields for fraud after the grocer abruptly closed shop in July, just a few months after opening. Aside from breaking the lease, Pagedale Grocery Development says they paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for the grocery store's equipment. Some of it was missing when the store closed, and some of it never arrived because the orders had been canceled. Forecast sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. For today, high 70 to 74 degrees. Low tonight, 46 at the Arch, 40 in some outlying areas. Tomorrow's high 74. At the moment, sun and 58 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
My best friend Jenny came over for coffee, said it's cold enough in here to play hockey. Well, my furnace broken, it's already late. Call Jerry Kelly because they're open till 8, jerrykelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on, Jerry Kelly.
Gone South, winner of the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Award, is back. Laredo, Texas, a border town community where in the fall of 2018, 4 women were found dead. In Season 3 of Gone South, The Sign Cutter, join award-winning producer and journalist Jed Lipinski as he unravels the story behind the manhunt for a serial killer that led to a shocking standoff.
All episodes of Gone South, The Sign Cutter are available now exclusively on the free Odyssey app or listen weekly wherever you get your podcasts.
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Audi Kirkwood is under construction
construction, and our savings are through the roof. Save big during our construction sales event. Get up to 10% off MSRP on select new in-stock Audi models, plus low financing rates. Choose from over 500 vehicles, including the A4, Q5, Q7, e-tron, and more, all with complimentary home delivery. Our sales and service departments are still open during normal business hours. Shop AudiKirkwood.com or visit us on Manchester Road in Kirkwood.
Join me, Matt Pauley, and support Jewish Federation's Blue Ribbon campaign. The blue ribbon symbolizes support for the safe return of all 240 hostages taken by Hamas terrorists and unites you with people of all religions, races, and nationalities in telling Israelis they are not alone. Be part of the movement. Every dollar donated goes to saving lives and providing support in Israel. Visit jfedstl.org to learn more and donate. jfedstl.org.
Medicare open enrollment starts October 15th and ends December 7th. Missouri SHIP, the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, is your trusted Medicare resource in Missouri. They're not an insurance company, and they don't sell anything. Counselors help you compare and enroll in plans. Check if you qualify to lower your medical costs and more. Call 1-800-390-3330. MoShip, assisting Missourians with Medicare since 1993. Funding provided by Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance through ACO.
Get ready for Thursday Night Football.
All three, ready?
It's the Bengals and Ravens in Baltimore. Pre-game 6:30, kick at 7:30. Hear the game here on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. We go to the Quiver River Electric guest line this morning, and the Dutchtown community, and in particular the Dutchtown Community Improvement District, is trying to do something about crime in the area. Of course, crime around the St. Louis area is always a topic, and sometimes nationally it is. To talk about that with us, the chairperson for the Dutchtown Community Improvement District, Kaya Offiero, is with us on KMOX. Kaya, we appreciate your time. How are you?
I'm just hunky-dory, thank you.
Well, that's good. So you have been working, and your neighborhood, Dutchtown, has been working to improve the situation. First of all, how bad do you think it is where you live right now?
Well, actually, where I'm situated is very good. But St. Louis City is really, where you live is sort of block by block, and urban neighborhoods are a little bit different than suburban neighborhoods, but crime happens everywhere. And the techniques for deterring crime or dealing with crime after it happens or while it's happening are the same, no matter where you live, whether you're in Ladue or whether you're in Washington, Missouri, or whether you're in downtown St. Louis. So going to eliminate crime, but there are certainly techniques for reducing it and deterring it and for how you deal with it when it happens.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those techniques because I have several friends who live in Soulard, not too far away. And what they've done is coordinate all of their Ring camera systems so that they can add additional community support to law enforcement to deter crime because they are concerned with increase in gunshots heard and incidents happening in that area. Is one of your techniques does it have to do with community cameras?
Right, it does. And that's actually that's something we're adding to what we currently have. And that's part of an initiative we call Connected Dutchtown. It's our holistic initiative that is comprised of 3 pillars. We have a curated camera network, a managed camera network, and our community camera partnership. And that's the part that you're talking about, personally owned, privately owned cameras. And all of this is designed to enhance community safety and engagement. So it's a holistic approach, and it's not a silver bullet for avoiding crime or catching the bad guys. It's not going to do it all. You have to have a layered approach to safety in your community. But what you're talking about is what we are adding right now to our other two pillars that I mentioned, the managed camera network and the curated camera network. The managed camera network we started 2 years ago with our Flock camera system. And this was an answer to, for us, we have the Dutchtown CID has a tiny budget, the smallest budget in the city, and yet we have the largest geographic footprint. So we tried having a secondary police patrol, and that really was too much money for our budget. It really took about 2/3 of our budget and wasn't effective. The outcomes were not effective. So we decided to put our money into technology, and we call it AI powered and volunteer assisted. So that was the first leg. The second leg was a curated camera network. The CID supplies 2 cameras to any owned property on our footprint that wants them, and those are that's our curated camera network. We curate them, and they all feed into one single network. So the third leg that you're talking about is our community camera partnership. Sorry, I'm getting my acronyms mixed up. And that is for people who already have a camera of some sort, like you mentioned, the Ring cameras, and they want to participate in expanding the network of cameras in the area. They can register their camera with us so that those curated cameras, essentially that network is expanded. If you've got 60 curated cameras out there, which we do, the other people who have other cameras can register their camera with us, and so that when the police need to see something that's happened in that area, they can come to us and say, hey, we need to see something at this intersection. We can tell them immediately, yes, we have something. One of our people who's registered has a camera at that intersection. You can go see Susie Smith. And they immediately know where the cameras are in that intersection.
Yeah. Kaya Offiero with the Dutchtown Community Improvement District. What have you been able to gather data that lets you know that it's working?
Yes, this is all data driven. That's what we are interested in. It's objective evidence, and the data, doesn't change. Data is what we're really looking to follow. And what all this allows us to do is gather data very quickly, instead of being delayed by hours or days with the police having to search for people to get footage. People might be not home. They might be, just out at the time that the officers call. We have that data immediately that they're able to retrieve. So, yes, it's been very successful. We've retrieved stolen camper vehicles for folks by providing this information to the police. Not us personally. We're not looking to be vigilantes, but this allows us to retrieve the data quickly and provide it to the law enforcement quickly. Recently we had an incident where a vehicle was stolen from someone who was visiting, and within just a couple of hours, that vehicle was found because we were able to trace the license plate and by the color of the car. So it was found very quickly. Another one was found a minivan just a couple blocks away, and that was within, I think it was more than a couple of hours, but again, found very quickly and able to be returned to the owner. Not that they were all undamaged, but again, that retrieval was at least quicker than days or months, which oftentimes happens.
How are residents and business owners responding to this plan so that they're more involved in law enforcement as well, or keeping crime down?
They're very positive once they know about it. We're working really hard right now to educate people and get the word out. We're all volunteers here at the Dutchtown Community Improvement District, and and this is in cooperation, I will say, with the Neighborhood Innovation Center. That's really who runs all the technology for us. And again, we call it the NIC STL, NIC STL. The Neighborhood Innovation Center is our partner in this, and that's who really knows all the and runs all the technology for us. So since we're all partners, we really are looking for volunteers to help us get the word out, help us install the cameras as the requests come in. So it's been received very, very well. We just need a little bit more help, and we're working on an educational initiative to get the word out, because not only do we install the cameras free for all of our members on the SID footprint, but we're happy to give the information out to anybody who's not on the footprint. These cameras we have access to very, very affordable cameras. I mean, for $40, you can get cameras, a couple of cameras installed, well, not a couple, but $40 each. Installed on your property. I mean, that's just a great value. And we're very happy to pass that information on to anybody who wants it. They don't have to be on our footprint for us to give out that information.
The neighborhood's website is DutchtownSTL.org. Is that the best place for people to go?
Well, no, really the best place to go, that's not our website. That's
okay.
A website for the Dutchtown Main Street. Mainly, really for this information, the best thing to do is to go to our Meetup website right now. That's where you can quickly get the information that's going to get you the quickest and best information. And that's meetup.com/safer. Let's see, I think that's right. Safer Dutchtown. Let me make sure about that. But yeah, meetup.com/safer Dutchtown, and that meetup is the quickest place to get. Let me see. Yep, that's right. Safer Dutchtown -meetup. That's a monthly meetup that's happening, and you'll really find the fastest info right there.
Thank
Fantastic.
You very much, yeah.
Kaya Offiero, we appreciate your time. Best of luck in this, and it sounds like it's off to a pretty good start. So
yeah.
Thank you for giving us your time today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Kaya Offiero, chairperson for the Dutchtown Community Improvement District. Yeah, I mean, I love to see people who are taking it upon themselves, and those in neighborhoods or in towns who feel like maybe they're not getting enough help in fixing crime problems.
I mean, there's crime in the city, and we know this. There's a problem, and it's a rising problem, and there are deeply rooted neighborhoods like Dutchtown, right? Like Soulard, the Grove, all of these, Tower Grove, I should say, South Grand, all of these areas with families and people and neighborhoods that are so tightly knit, and also kind of have a special commitment to the area, because we know that crime is a problem, and it's twofold in any community, in any neighborhood. Remember the neighborhood watch signs? Like, that's actually a pretty big deal. When neighbors are looking out for each other, when neighbors are calling, right, about suspicious activity, or saying, hey, I don't recognize that car driving around several times around the block, that does go a long way in deterring crime. So having community involvement is always a good thing. What's a bit of a bummer is that it's not necessarily that they're taking a step like, hey, let's nip this in the bud. We're all going to be a community looking out for each other. It's, we feel a bit underprotected. Things feel a little bit out of control, and we're not getting the help we need from city leaders. So we're going to step up ourselves and to help protect the neighborhood. that's kind of a bummer that that's some of the motivation because, again, my friends in Soulard, just so fiercely loyal to that area, love that area and that neighborhood. Gunshots have been a bit more frequent, carjackings. So they did that coordinated camera system with the community saying, listen, these things aren't getting caught. We're going to step up.
That's Amy Marks Cores. I'm Chris Ranji. Did you see this? Next on KMOX.
And if you are watching on our YouTube channel or on Facebook, you'll see the blue ribbon that I'm wearing and have been wearing now. That is in support of the Jewish Federation's Blue Ribbon campaign. The blue ribbon symbolizes support for the safe return of all 240 hostages taken by Hamas in Israel. The conflict continues. The horrors that were committed on October 7th are beyond comprehension in their evil and cruelty. And I know right now I'm sitting here thinking, what can I possibly do to help? What can I do to show my friends who are Israeli and also the greater Jewish community that I stand with them, that I support them, that they're not alone in this time? Well, the Blue Ribbon program, the Blue Ribbon, symbolizes that support. Plus, every dollar donated at jfedstl.org will go to saving lives and providing support in Israel. It goes to established, on-the-ground humanitarian nonprofits who are saving lives, rebuilding infrastructure, and providing trauma relief. So join me and the Jewish Federation of St. Louis. Get your blue ribbon, wear it proudly at jfedstl.org.
His legendary soulful voice is unmistakable. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee Al Green returns to the concert stage. A night of iconic hits from the 13-time Grammy Award winner Al Green with special guest Betty LaVette. Saturday, November 25th at the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena and Ticketmaster.
Celebrating 25 years with 98 Degrees and celebrating 30 years with All for One. A night of their biggest hits. 98 Degrees and All for One. Friday, September 22nd, the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House box office, located at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster. 98 Degrees and All for One.
Red Kingdom is back at Valley Sports Live at Ballpark Village Monday, November 20th. Meets the Chiefs and Eagles. Pre-game at 6. Kickoff at 7:15. Grab your friends along with KMOX and Bud Light and huddle up for the game at the best watch party in town. For more details on how to reserve your table, head to KMOX.com/events. Watch the Chiefs with KMOX and Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy.
Feels good to be home. Our local Ashley store has the biggest and best Black Friday furniture and mattress deals going on right now. Literally everything is on sale throughout the store, including up to 75% off designer-picked holiday hot buys. Plus, you can shop confidently because Ashley's price match guarantee ensures you'll get the best price. So if you're looking for trend-forward styles at unbelievable Black Friday prices, shop your local Ashley store today, only at Ashley.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
The greatest radio talk show host ever.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors on KMOX.
Did you see that thing? I can't believe it. Something is obviously wrong.
This is a joke, right?
Oh my God. Are you freaking kidding me? No way.
You gotta be kidding me. Don't feel bad. There's no way you could have known that.
Now, did you see this with Chris and Amy on the show?
Amy? Oh,
Yes.
go ahead.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on your...
well, I think you might be a little frustrated because I do have to bring up Elon Musk.
Oh,
but
God.
SpaceX said it will receive clearance this week to launch its Starship rocket. So it'll be launching more things into the air. And it does have a lot of things in the air because the other day I saw Starlink again, which looks very cool. But if you don't know what Starlink is, which is Elon Musk's little satellite train, right, to provide Wi-Fi, it looks kind of like an orderly alien invasion.
Which I'm
Because
sure
it's
would
like
be...
100
I'm sure would
stars
be.
all in a row,
Yeah.
moving across the sky pretty quickly.
That's awesome.
So anyway, the Starship rocket will be launching soon.
Did you see, you've been hearing about his dumb-looking Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck?
Yeah.
Okay, this thing has been coming for years, and we saw the original plans for it, I don't know how many, 5 years ago, at least. Anyway, November 30th, the truck will be released. Tesla has threatened to sue anybody who tries to sell the Cybertruck they've bought within the first year.
Is that legal?
Apparently, there are
Seems-
there are terms of sale that
Yeah.
you sign a form that when you buy the truck, if you try to resell it, unless you get it approved by Tesla, they might sue you for up to $50,000.
That seems illegal.
So
Because
in there,
you own the car. You own the car. And it's not an event. It's not even like reselling tickets, which maybe you could make an argument that you shouldn't be able to do that, even though obviously that's a huge industry. If you purchase an item and it becomes yours and the title is in your name, why can't you resell? Is there anything else like that?
I don't, not that I'm aware of. Well, I'm sure there are things that have terms of service where they don't want you to flip a truck. So this is in their terms of service. They've added a section titled for Cybertruck only. It's called the Motor Vehicle Order Agreement. And it states you agree that you will not sell or otherwise attempt to sell the vehicle within the first year following your vehicle's delivery date. Tesla may seek injunctive relief to prevent the transfer of title of the vehicle or demand liquidated damages from you in the amount of $50,000 or the value received as consideration for the sale or transfer, whichever is greater. They also may refuse to sell you any future vehicles.
That doesn't seem you're not an employee.
My
Wow.
guess would be this.
Yeah.
That you can get an attorney if you want to. Like even in terms and conditions, they're not always like rock solid binding. You can get around a lot of it if you have the right attorney.
All right. I have two more. Sorry. There's just so many did you see this is. This specifically is interesting to Chris Ranji, and that is Rolex and Patek Philippe.
Yeah.
Prices have fallen to two-year lows because nobody wants expensive watches right now.
Well, here's what happened. The market exploded in 2020 because people are home. They're not doing anything, and they think, well, I'm going to buy a watch, or I'm going to buy a luxury good, or I'm going to buy this or that. And so prices, went through the roof on the secondary market for
And
stuff like that.
Lastly, the hottest trending dog name in America this year is
Amy.
Kelsey.
Kelsey? That's a stupid dog name.
That's not what Taylor Swift would say.
Dave Grelly and Joanna Sorenko, musical artists, in studio next on KMOX.
This is Christina Straight with Straight Realty reminding you why pay more than 4. In 2003, we had a dream to start a real estate company that would revolutionize the real estate market. Now, 20 years later, after navigating through the many markets' ups and downs, we know exactly how to help you in this challenging time. I'm Christina Straight, owner Straight Realty. Don't give away your hard-earned equity. Give us a call today, 314-441-4444, 314-441-all-4s. And remember, why pay more than 4?
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Spark St. Louis is the newest collaborative co-working office space located in the PwC Pennant Building at Ballpark Village. Spark supports local entrepreneurs and corporate professionals and features over 80 private offices, day pass options, monthly networking events, conference room, and special event amenities, while offering an innovative approach to city life where you can live, work, and watch the Cardinals play all within the neighborhood at Ballpark Village. Schedule your tour today by visiting Spark St. Louis online at spark-stl.com.
With Hardee's Double Deals, get a double cheeseburger or bacon double cheeseburger starting at just $2.99. That's double the Hardee goodness with 2 charbroiled patties and cheese. Or double the Hardee goodness with 2 charbroiled patties and cheese and bacon. Both starting at only $2.99. Hardee's, goodness in the making. These items only. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Visit restaurant or app for details.
The Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates are pleased to welcome Dr. Samuel Berry to the practice. He joins Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brasati, and Royer as the Doctors' Doctors. 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Here's another satisfied customer of 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, Anita Bennett.
When I first heard about 3-Day Kitchen and Bath, I thought, there's no way they could do a good job in 3 days, and they must carry only the plain Jane basics in cabinets, countertops, and flooring. Then they came to our house and we found out they offered top quality materials with tons of choices and lots of custom options. They worked with us to design a bathroom that was perfect for our family. They looked at our needs and thought of details I hadn't even considered. The installation was clean, thorough, and professional, and they were done in just 3 days. When we got back from the hotel, I couldn't believe the difference. The bathroom is beautiful.
See us on the web at 3daykitchen.com.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family. Available at Walmart and other participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, it's sunny and 60 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. The UAW General Motors tentative agreement is apparently a no for Wentzville workers.
This is Stuart McMillan in Wentzville. After the UAW GM vote, the president, Katie Dethridge of the UAW 2250, says in all the time she's been here, she has not seen the union members turn down a contract like this. I asked her if she was surprised by that.
Not necessarily. It was pretty close with, the yes and no's. It wasn't like a landslide no. So obviously people, our members had different opinions on this contract and different ideas of, could we potentially get more if we vote it down.
Now, they still have to put all the votes together nationwide, but it's been trending against. Like plants in Michigan and Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio all voted against the agreement with UAW and GM.
A GM factory in Arlington, Texas, with about 5,000 workers, voted more than 60% in favor of the deal. Voting continues at Ford. The contract was passing overwhelmingly in early voting at Stellantis. The union's vote tracker shows that 79.7% voted in favor, with many large factories yet to finish. President Biden meets China's president near San Francisco today. CBS's Weijia Jiang is covering and says there's a lot to discuss.
There's been a flood of senior administration officials and members of the cabinet who have had to go and try to massage this relationship to a point where President Biden and Xi Jinping could sit down today face to face.
Before the meeting, the two countries agreed to accelerate climate change measures. Our legal expert, Brad Young, reacts to the state attorney general's 62-page report about Kim Gardner.
$351,000 was paid in taxpayers' money to an unlicensed attorney who was providing legal advice. That's something we really didn't know the depth of until this report came out.
25,000 cases were dismissed under Gardner. Just over 2,700 were dismissed for failure to prosecute. You can read the final report at KMOX.com. Fighting the perception of high crime.
That is the number one thing officials and business leaders can agree on when it comes to having a vibrant, bustling downtown. Kurt Weigel, Chief Downtown Officer for Greater St. Louis, Inc., was asked how we do that.
First and foremost, you make sure that crime decreases, right? And I think it has. You know, the numbers that the SLMPD are showing are really impressive. Almost a 40% decrease in crime year over year.
Weigel is positive about the new police chief, but also Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore, whom he says is clearing through the backlog of cases left behind. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The KMOX Business Desk, a new report commissioned by the FAA after a series of close calls for urgent action to make the skies safer. The report found safety is being compromised because of understaffing with air traffic controllers, outdated technology, and chronic underfunding from Congress. Captain Dennis Tager with American Airlines.
The one thing you cannot take a step back on is training and preparing the pilots, air traffic controllers, and other professionals out there that keep people, I'll be blunt, alive and safe today.
The Dow from Stifel is up 112 points to 34,940. We've got debris on 6440 going east at Woods Mill. The right lane is closed. Slow-moving roadwork 6440 east at Chesterfield Airport Road in the right lane. Slow-moving roadwork 170 south at the ramp from 270 west in the left lane. And on 64 east at Chestnut, the right lane there is closed.
For the rest of today, plenty of sunshine and pleasant and even warmer with a high of 70 to 74. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, though 46 downtown at the Arch, near 40 in some outlying areas. Sun mixing with clouds tomorrow, high 74. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. Right now, sun 60 in Florissant, 61 St. Peter's, and 60 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers, an important decision, and should not be based solely on advertising.
Tell me what you want, need, love, I'll be it. Let me be the only one. We could fly so high, I know you can see it. We got fearless love.
In studio, we've got Dave Grelly and Joanna Sorenko. The Playa Doors, Jordan Rivers, and the Real Juice double release show is happening this Friday at Off Broadway. It's going to start at 7 o'clock. Well, the doors will open at 7 o'clock, and you will get started at 8. Hey, guys, good to see you.
Hey.
What's going on?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're excited to have you in here. You
It's
must
always
be
good
excited for Friday. Are you ready?
Yeah, very excited, very ready. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this date for a long time. Once we put it on the calendar, it's obviously exciting, releasing new music. And yeah, we're expecting a packed house. Should be really fun.
And that song coming in was the illustrious tones of Joanna Sorenko. You'll be there Friday?
Thank you. Yes, I'll be there Friday.
Okay, we keep saying Friday. I'm going to throw the details out now just so while people are listening, they can get tickets. It's Friday, November 17th. So this upcoming Friday, 7 p.m. Doors open. 8 p.m. is the show. It's at Off Broadway. $15 for tickets in advance, $20 at the door. So just go to Off Broadway to get tickets, like their website.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Off BroadwaySTL.com.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
the spot.
It's going to be
I mean,
a lot
Jimmy
of fun.
Griffin, by the way, is the opener.
That's
say that.
ridiculous.
You don't say that very often.
No, you don't.
From El Monstero, Celebration Day.
He's been in
you
Studio
know.
B a time or two.
I bet.
Wasn't he just in here?
He's friends with Dave
Dave
Glover.
Glo- yeah, he's
the
the
afternoon
Dave Glover
show.
friends.
Yeah.
He is. He's also, he does some stuff at Casey as well. Don't turn your dial.
Well, okay. Dave.
Sorry. Am I out? Am I out?
Yeah.
Come on, I brought you a hat.
You know
Oh,
who?
you did.
You know
Nice
who
hat.
would never say
Pliador's
that?
hat.
You know who would never say that? Neil Salsick of the Mighty Pines.
Neil Salsick. Where is he?
He will
Where is
also
that
be.
guy?
I
he
know
gonna
where
be
he will
there
be.
Friday?
He will be there Friday, also singing. Apparently, I just
serious?
recruit
Okay.
singers from The Voice. I don't know what's no.
As well as Emily Wallace and Anita Jackson will be there as
Yes.
well.
This is awesome. This is great music.
How long did it take to put this show together?
Well, I mean, the band's been together for a while now,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, the cool thing about the group is it's basically just a bunch of my friends who happen to be incredibly talented. And, you know, we like to feature different vocalists. So sometimes it'll be Joanna, sometimes it'll be Neil, Anita, Emily. This show is, I think, maybe the first time we've had all four of them on the bill. So I'm super excited.
Well, I think this too. Like you mentioned, they're your friends who happen to be incredible musicians. But anybody who knows anything about music knows that this collection of musicians and artists and singers is the highest caliber of musician. So if let's say people in St. Louis are like complaining, like, oh, St. Louis, wish I could go to Nashville or New York. They have music scene. If you don't go to this show, then you can't talk because this is that show that would be in New York, that would be in Nashville, would stand up to anything that they have in those cities.
We
So
do love to complain, though. So
we do complain, but
We
like
are
this
so
is it. Like
good.
this is the best of St. Louis music. Like seriously,
Thank you so much. That
I'm
means
getting,
a lot.
I'm getting together with my friends Megan and Megan on Friday night, so I think we'll be coming by the show. For
Beautiful.
sure.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. Yeah, we're pumped. And then Joe also has a show coming up around the corner at City Winery.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
It is the day after Thanksgiving. If you're in town, it's the 24th, Friday at 8 p.m. I'm going to be there with my full band, and we're going to be doing some originals off my debut album, Best of Me.
I have not been inside winery. This is at the Foundry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
what's that space like?
It's beautiful. It's super intimate. It's like kind of a higher stage, but all of the seating is like kind of really grouped together, and it just feels like a nice, comfortable room. They have amazing wine, amazing food. We got a charcuterie board last time, and it was
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Oh, well, that's going to be there.
Yeah. So if anything, come for the
Yeah,
come
it's a
for the
cool
cheese.
venue. I was there for Patton Oswalt last week, comedian.
Oh, you know what? I think there was the Banksy exhibit,
Mhm.
and I think that's where they had it. It's just it's a room, right? It's a venue.
Yeah, it's a venue. And it's set up. It's an interesting setup because it's almost like like family style seating, you know, where you're almost turned to look at the stage.
Okay.
And that's by design because, you know, it's also meant to eat and drink and,
right,
you know, have fun with your neighbors.
Yeah, that whole area is pretty cool. The Foundry's great. So, would you recommend getting tickets ahead of time? It's going to be cheaper, but are you expecting that it will be packed and you may run out of seats?
Yes, for sure. I would definitely get tickets in advance. That's at offbroadwaystl.com for that show and Joanna's show as well. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of there's still tickets available, so I don't want to freak people out. And
You just sold 3 because
But-
Megan and me.
Nice.
We're going.
You know what? I think you should only bring one Megan.
Well, that's
How many
not
Megans
fair.
can you bring?
So, not kidding. They played collegiate soccer together, and they were all 3 named Megan on the same team, but they also all their last names started with B. So you couldn't even do Megan B,
And
Megan
B.
C. Yeah.
Mm.
So anyway, no
What do you
one
do?
cares.
What do you do? I
I'm
don't
really
know.
glad Joanna and Jake were here for this conversation.
Lots of Megans out
Okay.
there. What else you got?
Hey, by the way, Neil Salsick of the Mighty Pines, check him out. He is listening.
Yes, always.
Yeah,
Unbelievable, this
yeah.
guy.
And so he sent me a text, but again, I didn't say this. I mean, he didn't say this, but I said it. That Neil would know. The only station is KMOX.
That's right.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you were going to say he would know all the Megans.
He probably does.
Yeah.
They are huge
God.
fans of the Mighty Pines. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Pines Fest. Did you go? Did you get a chance to go?
I was out of town.
Oh, so you're not a fan. Got it.
I was getting engaged in Colorado.
What?
Not then.
Congrats! Oh,
You were not getting
wow.
engaged then.
How do you lift up the hand? Wow, that is.
Pines Fest was like a month ago. You got engaged yesterday.
I didn't get engaged.
It's all
yesterday.
coming out.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
do this. Thank you. Okay, Joanna, your show at the winery, the City Winery, the day after Thanksgiving, your new album, which is out, People can
Yes.
listen to it, get it on Spotify, Best of Me.
Yes.
So go to Spotify, Best of Me, Joanna Sorenko, and then Dave Gurley, Playadors, your album name.
Well, TBD.
Okay.
Probably self-titled. So what we're doing, we're doing, is because of attention spans these days, I'm just releasing singles at a time.
Nice.
Basically, the idea is to release 3 in succession, an original with vocals that'll feature one of the incredible vocalists, an instrumental original because I just like to write instrumentals, and then a cover. And that's kind of the deal. And we'll keep releasing those till there's a good collection from some of those songs that'll make up half the record. And then we'll release that with a batch of new songs as well. That's the plan.
Excellent. I will say again, I'm give an anecdote. Ranj hates my anecdotes.
They're so good.
But last night, my fiance, we call him Mason Jar. Mason Jar and I were playing Crossy Road. Have you ever played that game?
No.
It's like it's like a old school arcade game, and listening to you guys, listening to your new music, and that's how we were jamming out. We were feeling the vibe, yeah. And so I'm just telling people you need to check it
What's
out.
it called? Crossy what?
Crossy Road. It's like Frogger.
Okay, it sounded like Frogger when you were
Yeah.
explaining it.
I gotta be honest with you.
Knockoff Frogger. Wow.
It does
Frogger.
sound like a knockoff
I
Frogger.
think it is. I don't
I
think it's like a knockoff Frogger. I
You think it is
a
exactly
knockoff
that?
Frogger.
I have to be honest with you. When you started that story, I thought it was going to have nothing to do with the Playadors.
No.
I thought it was going to be completely unrelated.
No, we were listening
But
to
you
their
circled
music.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some good
it made
speakers.
it made it almost like Frogger.
Honestly, I think it was better than Frogger at that point.
The ultimate compliment. Can I put that on the website?
Best paired with knockoff Frogger.
Hey, are you going to have merch to buy?
Oh.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We are.
Okay.
Do you hear that lull? I know you guys don't like
So
lulls.
you brought in knit caps. Are these going to be for sale? Because this is like a tropical flower. It says
A
Playadors.
hibiscus, if
A
you will.
hibiscus. You know your flowers.
You know.
Hibiscus. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
This
no, we
knit cap.
have a ton of new merch, and it's all super awesome stuff. If you've seen any of the posters or those designs in the past, we have an incredible artist we work with, Sarah Downen. She's actually, I've never even met her. She lives in Colorado. She's going to be in for the show. Psyched about that. But yeah, and we printed up a ton of stuff at STL Style, and we've got like 3 new t-shirts. We've got some super cool hoodies. We've got hats. We've got trucker hats. I mean, yeah. Lots of swag. Lots of swag.
I love swag. I'm going to buy some swag. I'm going to go to the show and buy some swag.
Yeah.
All right,
And I'll
hold me
bring
to
no
it.
Megans.
What?
Nothing.
I'm bringing all the Megans.
I know. They'll all be your friends.
Before we get out though, too, I want to make sure, Dave, that we play some of the music as well so people can hear it a little bit. I want to give the details again. It's Friday, so November 17th, 2 days, Friday at Off Broadway. The show is at 8 p.m. The doors are at 7. Tickets are just $15 in advance. The best deal.
OffBroadwaySTL.com.
$20 at the door. The Megans and I will be there. It's going to be a blast.
Awesome. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for
Thank you.
having us.
Thank you so
always.
And thank you for coming in, despite the fact Neil wouldn't. You know.
No.
Oh, dude, he's out in the parking lot, I think. Like,
I see him.
Yeah,
he is.
Neil Salsick of the Mighty Pines is awesome. You said
He's
he'll
great.
be jumping in too.
oh, yeah, he's on 3, 4 songs, 5. I don't even know.
So this is like a
Are there going to be
casserole
surprises?
of musicians.
Yes, there will
I
be a
love
surprise.
surprises.
There will be a very fun surprise.
Oh, really?
I promise.
Okay.
It's at the end of the show, so you can't leave.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
Okay.
this is good. And also, people, if you haven't heard Joanna's voice, you have to hear it and listen to her album Best of Me, Joanna Sorenko, on Spotify, and then know that you're going to see the very best musicians in St. Louis who I would put them up against any musicians in the country. So if you love St. Louis and wish we were New York or Nashville, you got to be at the show on Friday because that's what this is.
and you can't complain about it.
And you can't
You
complain.
have to stop complaining
That's
about
right.
St. Louis. Show
Except
up to
for
the,
the
show
drivers.
Friday.
The drivers are awful.
Oh.
In the parking.
Oh, the parking here is fine.
I know.
This guy's from Chicago.
I'm not. Well, I lived there.
Me too.
Hey, nice.
Look at that.
Yeah, cool. The parking there sucks.
You know, he was
Oh, yeah.
Parking here is great.
he was White Sox pre and post and also broadcasted like you were the play-by-play guy. for
We've
some
talked
games.
about that. That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Southside, baby.
That's right. I used to be a very big deal at one point.
Yeah. I need some White Sox gear.
Then it all went to hell. I can get you some.
Yeah, like an old throwback Frank Thomas or Bo Jackson jersey.
I will get you some White Sox swag.
All right. You know what I can
can't
use
get
it
from
for? I need it for the 90s New Year's Eve Mighty Pines throwdown. They do it every year, the New Year's Eve 90s thing. I need some 90s gear. I feel like White Sox would be
Can you buy
primo.
tickets
We'll
to
get
that?
you a cool Sox hat. That was a big deal
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Yep.
The black and white.
Yeah.
I'll work on that for you. Can't get it from the team. I think they hate me, but I'll get it from somebody. I'll handle it, Dave.
Weren't you kicked off the plane?
What?
The team
No.
plane?
No.
Oh, I thought it
Who
was
was
like
that?
the owner didn't want you to go on the trip.
No, that's not what happened. No.
Jerry
He just
was not a
wanted-
fan?
He just wanted somebody else to go instead. Totally different. Jerry Reinsdorf, 97
Legend.
years old.
Legend.
Well,
For better or worse.
in
I
his
mean.
mind.
Yeah.
All right. Dave Grelly, Joanna Sorenko, thank you for coming in. Looking forward to Friday. Again, tickets ahead of time off Broadway STL. There are tickets available, but you better hurry up.
What
right?
song
Is that the right
is that?
tone to set? Better hurry up, but there are
Yes.
tickets.
Get after it. There are tickets, but don't slack.
That sounds good. What song is carrying us out, Dave?
Fearless Love.
Carrying us out.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. I'll be it. Let me be the only one. We could fly so high, I know you can see it. We got fearless love.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
The IRS definitely ramped up operations since the pandemic slowed them down, and activity only increases from here. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. If you're currently under audit or you haven't paid your taxes in the past, now's the time to call the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS has a published Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which says you have the right to retain legal representation because IRS problems are legal problems, and the Lance Story Law Firm focuses specifically on addressing IRS issues for our clients. It's all we do. We get out in front of the IRS, devise the best resolution plan, and work to make sure you're able to take advantage of every program you're qualified to receive. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure company, call the Lance Story Law Firm. We're local, located right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-238-7360.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, this is Kent Newbold for Newbold BMW. Do not trust your BMW to some quickie lube place. Bring it to our award-winning service department. That's Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldbmw.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
How are balloons made? Where did the dinosaurs go? Why is the sky blue?
Your kids asked you the tough questions because they trusted you. So how about another question for you? Do you have a trusted financial professional to go to for answers on your retirement? Questions like, how much do I really need to retire? When should I take my Social Security benefits? Could my taxes go up when I stop working? We'll leave those tough kid questions to you, but for your retirement questions, Heisey Advisory Group is the team to ask. Call them today at 314-328-4400. We all have important questions. Get your retirement questions answered with help from Heisey Advisory Group. Call now at 314-328-4400. That's 314-328-4400.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Security products and services made available through AE Financial Services LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. AEFS and Pine Ridge Advisors LLC are not affiliated.
By now, you've probably heard of Upside, the free app that gets you real cash back at gas stations. But Upside is so much more than just a gas app. Upside lets you earn cash back at over 100,000 locations that include convenience stores, supermarkets, popular national chains, and local favorites. Just download the free app, claim an offer, and get real cash back on your purchase. There are no complicated points or rebates. With Upside, you can earn an average of 8% cash back on groceries and dining. That's 8% real cash back on top of your credit card rewards. You can use Upside to earn cash back even on debit card purchases. Talk about fueling up. Download Upside today. Use promo code MORE10 and get a 10% cashback bonus on your first purchase. Get the Upside app and use promo code MORE10 for an extra 10% cashback bonus. That's promo code MORE10. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
Cooking competition-level barbecue takes more than a great recipe. It takes a pitmaster with the experience and dedication to make sure anything we put in front of a judge is top-notch. My doctor at Archwell Health, she's a crucial part of my team. We meet regularly to check on my progress and make sure I'm healthy enough to compete.
Looking for primary care for adults age 60 and up? With more one-on-one time with your doctor, same-day appointments for members, and locations near you, Archwell Health has all the right ingredients. Visit archwellhealth.com today to learn more.
The Musial Awards return to Stiefel Theater this fall. You can be in the audience for this nationally televised event Saturday, November 18th. Named for Stan the Man, the awards celebrate those who embody extraordinary sportsmanship. Come walk the red carpet and experience the most inspiring night in sports. It's a show you don't want to miss and a perfect way to kick off the holiday season. The Musial Awards, presented by Maryville University, Saturday, November 18th. Tickets at musialawards.com.
All the news and all that matters to you. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Man, Neil Salsick with the Pines, he is not happy with us.
Uh-oh.
Because we took some shots. And I said,
No, I stood. No,
you took
no.
shots at him.
I did not take shots at him. I took shots at Dave Gurley, also our good friend, because I stood up for Neil Salsick and the Mighty Pines.
You took a shot at him.
What did I say?
And you know what you said.
No, I didn't say anything.
And he sent a message and he said, I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to clean up what he said.
No.
He said, you blankers. And then I said, well, if you would have come into studio, we wouldn't take shots at you because you could be here to defend yourself. And he says he wasn't invited. He's always invited.
Neil, you basically
Neil is
work
always
here
invited.
at this point. You are always invited.
Do you know today is a huge day in St. Louis, November 15th?
Yes.
Do you know why?
It is the day
That
you...
What? Today is the day
Yeah.
that Santa Claus comes to the mall.
Yes. Sorry, I was thinking of the banana bread at work.
Dude, banana bread at work?
Oh, yeah.
Today at
What?
West County Center and Mid Rivers Mall, you can start to see Santa Claus.
I know him.
You have to wait until Friday to go to, let's see, South County Center and the Galleria.
When is he coming to the Galleria?
Friday.
The St. Louis Galleria on Friday.
Yes. And for some reason, St. Clair Square, my Illinois people, waiting until next Friday. Why are you waiting so long?
I don't know.
Man, I haven't sat on Santa's lap in 2 years.
During COVID?
Immediately after. He didn't wear a mask. He was just blowing his COVID everywhere. Do you remember the last time you sat on Santa's lap? Do you remember the last time you told Santa Claus directly to his face what you wanted
You
for
want
Christmas?
to hear a fun fact?
Yes.
I have
You've
never
been
sat on
oh my
Santa's
God.
lap. We didn't do it. We didn't do it as kids. Maybe.
Why?
I think I stood next to him one time.
Do you have a problem with Santa Claus?
No, I love Santa Claus.
Then why didn't you sit on his lap?
I was a kid. I had no agency at that time.
What else were you denied of?
I don't know.
Huh.
But I think I stood next to Santa as a teenager. Maybe.
Yeah. Do you recall? All right. How
Okay,
long did you believe
actually, I do remember the last time I did sit on Santa's lap one time.
Okay.
It was like a pet thing where you could bring your pets, and it was they called it Christmaka because
Yeah. Hanukkah, Christmas.
Yes, and I think this Santa actually was Jewish, and so they had Christmaka.
Okay.
Yeah, so no matter what you
Interesting.
believed, right, you could go, and we had pets, and then Santa was there, and it said Happy Christmaka.
Do you remember how long you believed in him? And by the way, if you're listening and you're a child, yeah, totally. Santa Claus. It's a thing.
I am pleading the fifth.
Pleading the fifth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
But you
pleading the
can't-
fifth.
You can't
But
remember.
Here's what I know is that in all the Hallmark movies, they have the Santa Claus stories, and then the girl will be dating someone and then find out that he's Santa Claus. They always take it really well. Like, really well.
Oh, like, so there's the old guy who's got the beard and
Or the son of Santa Claus. Yeah. Like, one Steve Gutenberg was a Santa Claus.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you seen Miracle on 34th, the old one?
Absolutely.
Okay, the black and white.
Yep.
So, was he a crazy guy, or was he actually the Santa Claus?
He was Santa Claus. That's the whole point of the movie.
Well, I thought the whole point was that people believed it was him so much, and that's why he got all the letters. That he wasn't actually him.
That the letters proved that it was him, because they were saying if it wasn't him, how could he get all those letters? How would they all know to go to him?
Because people just thought it was him.
Mm-mm,
he was
that's
in
not
court.
it.
I remember him being in court.
Yeah, and it proved he was Santa Claus.
What was it? Tax evasion?
Oh my gosh!
Why was he in court?
Actually, I do forget why he was in court.
We need to get to the bottom of that.
But Steve Gutenberg was Santa, and his girlfriend took it very well.
Another musical guest coming up, Tom Werman, author of Turn It Up, My Time Making Hit Records in the Glory Days of Rock Music. That's next on KMOX.
Hey guys, it's Dave from the Dave Glover Show, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays on KMOX. Let me do a promo that no one's ever done in the history of radio. I talk 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's impossible to do without saying a lot of really, really stupid stuff. So if you would like to see someone just melt down about once a week, tune in. It can happen anytime between 1 and 5. Usually happens in the 2 o'clock hour. I'm not sure why. 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. on KMOX weekdays. It's the DGS.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Have you ever wondered how America's most successful people build their wealth? By investing in tax liens. And you can too. The Tax Lien Code Masterclass is coming right here to St. Louis, where you'll have the opportunity to learn the same simple blueprint that tax lien investor Brian Peterson and his partners have used to purchase over $40 million in tax liens. With tax lien investing, you can earn government-secured double-digit returns on your investment as high as 30%. And that's just the beginning. Listen, if you've ever been interested in real estate investing but weren't sure how to get started, this is your chance. No prior experience needed. For 2 free tickets to the 2-hour Tax Lien Code Masterclass right here in St. Louis, text code to 26022. Hurry, with high demand, seats will fill up. Text code to 26022. Get 2 free tickets now. Text code to 26022.
Bring the whole family to the 5th annual Moolah Festival of Trees, with over 40 exquisitely decorated Christmas trees, November 18th through 25th at the Moolah Shrine. Raffle tickets are just $1, and you'll have a chance to take home one or more of the many creative and decoratively designed tree displays with all the gifts. It's an exciting Christmas event for all ages. The tree displays with all the gifts are valued from $500 to over $10,000, and you could win a complete HVAC system for your home. While you're there, take a souvenir photo with Santa Claus and capture a memory of the true spirit of Christmas. Enjoy fresh baked items from sandwiches to sweet treats at Kris Kringle Cafe. Adult admission is just $2. Kids 12 and under are free. The Moolah Shrine Center, 12545 Fifi Road. And remember, you can check out all the trees online at moolah.org.
At 11:30, it's sunny and 63 degrees downtown at the Arch. Voting on the tentative contract agreement between General Motors and the United Auto Workers Union appears to be too close to call as tallies at more factories were announced. Presidents Joe Biden and Xi Jinping are heading into their meeting at a country estate in California, hoping to stabilize U.S.-China relations after a period of tumult. But the White House says Biden is prepared to confront Xi on difficult issues such as trade, Beijing's burgeoning relationship with Iran, and human rights concerns. A fistfight nearly breaking out during a Senate hearing on Monday that forced Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders to play peacekeeper. CBS's Nicole Killian.
Over in the Senate, former MMA fighter and Oklahoma Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen almost came to blows with the president of the Teamsters Union.
If you want to run your mouth, we can be 2 consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your
Fire.
solution?
Hold it. No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay. Sit down, please.
Senator Mullen says that exchange wasn't personal and he has no hard feelings.
We've got road work on 44 going east before 30. The right lane is closed. Also 94 going west at I-70. The right lane is closed. For the rest of today, warmer than yesterday with a high of 70 to 74. For tonight, low 46 downtown, closer to 40 in outlying areas. For tomorrow's high, 74. At the moment, we've got 63 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Men suffering from ED or PE, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. Call now, 314-720-8081.
Broadcasting from the Underlying Tree Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
It's lonely at the top. Successful leaders aren't just adjusting to change. They're demonstrating more resilience than ever to be successful. CMA Global offers a program to coach your leaders. Coaches offer thought partnership in a safe, confidential manner to make it less lonely at the top. The desire to take your organization to the next level is at the heart of everything they do at CMA Global. Let them show you how they can guide your leaders to reach their full potential, even in this ever-changing marketplace. Go to CMAconsult.com. CMA Global. When your people thrive, your business thrives.
Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes talks football, family, and more. Monday nights during Sports Open Line. Only on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. Another musical guest for us. We don't usually have a couple of musical guests in the same hour, but we've done it today. And we are glad to do it today because joining us on the Quiver River Electric guest line is Tom Werman, who is the author of Turn It Up, My Time-Making Hit Records in the Glory Days of Rock Music. That was Cheap Trick, which you probably already know. This book is available starting November 21st. It is available for pre-order now, and Tom Werman joins us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. Good morning, Tom. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me here.
We're really excited to have you here. And just out of recency, the reason is we have been over the last couple of weeks on the show that we do at 1:00 with Dave Glover.
Mm-hmm.
We have talked a lot about Stryper. And
really?
And I know you did. I know
the reason.
Why?
I grew up. Well, I still do. I listened to Christian music and, the 80s and the 90s, but I was more like Amy Grant and Michael W. Smith. And a couple of our hosts, including Chris Ranji, said, well, Stryper.
You
grew up
Stryper.
listening to Stryper, right?
Yep. I had a lot of Stryper tapes.
Wow. Well,
that's
I was pretty. What? Go ahead.
Yeah. No. I know you did. You did some work with them.
I did. I was pretty surprised that they asked me, but they came and said we would like to do an album that is not, particularly religious. And I said, okay. I don't know what I would have done if they had said they wanted to do another album that was specifically religious. But anyway, I went down to their mother's house. She was managing them at the time in Orange County, and we had a very nice meeting, and we wound up doing the album. And it was these are among the nicest guys I ever worked with, Michael Sweet and Oz Fox and Robert Sweet, and just great guys. Outside of Shining Star, I don't remember a whole lot of cuts on the album. We're talking about sometimes 40 years ago. and it gets tough. Since I did 52 albums with roughly 12 selections on each album, it's a little challenging for me to summon up the track list. But we did have a great time. It was an easy record, and probably should have been bigger than it was.
So speaking of your career and all the albums that you've done, you've been retired from the music industry for a while.
Quite a while, yeah.
Yeah. What prompted you to write this book now?
Well, about a few years ago, I started getting more requests for podcasts. And one of them that I did on the making of Shout at the Devil, speaking of Stryper, it had 150,000 hits. And I said, well, this means that there are lots of people out there who are conscious of and possibly curious about classic rock. And I think classic rock was roughly mid-50s to, well, for me, it was mid-50s to mid-90s. But I'm talking about 60s, 70s, and 80s. I wound up writing 18 episodes for a blog. They really liked, the readers really liked it. So it became, for me, the skeleton of a book, the model of a book. And I continued to write 10 or 15 minutes at a time. I never sat down to have a writing session. And I would fit them in, these little pieces that I wrote, I'd fit them in chronologically. And it developed into a book, but it took about 3 years. Sometimes I wouldn't write for a month. And then I organized it, and I sent it to an agent, and he sent it to a publisher, and bang, it was a little easier than I thought.
Well, you have a lot of stories.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you a longtime record producer, Tom Werman, is with us right now on KMOX. You worked with Motley Crue, Poison, Cheap Trick that we played coming in out of break, REO Speedwagon. Who would you say was, because I think we're always curious what artists are easy to work with and the ones who are not so easy to work with.
Right. Well, that's pretty easy for me. By the way, I signed REO Speedwagon, but I never did have the opportunity to produce them. They are still on the road after 50 years. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
They're huge in St. Louis. I can tell you that.
Yeah. And Champaign, Illinois was where they started. And they're very big. They've got a huge fan base now. Anyway, you were asking about
the difficulty
easy and hard.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's Cheap Trick was definitely the easiest because they were among the best, each one at his own instrument or voice. The most challenging, probably Twisted Sister. A number of reasons. The principal one being Dee Snider. And it was the only person that I really didn't get along with in 20 years of making records.
Really?
Well, yeah, basically. Maybe George Lynch from Dokken. But, generally, these rock stars have a way of looking back 20 years later and not liking what they did, what you did for them, even though every single band approved the final mix before I handed it in to the label. And some of these bands sold 5 million records, and then, didn't like what I did. It's a little puzzling, really, but I've rarely heard any band praise their producer way down the line. They love you when they're selling records, and then 20 years later, you're to blame for whatever they failed to achieve. It's about it.
Well, after you graduated from Columbia, you went into advertising, and I think you said you were on a detergent and a Jif peanut butter account, weren't very happy, so you wrote a letter to Clive Davis, who was heading up CBS Records.
That's it.
How did that go?
And, well, it was interesting. It was the letter is reprinted in the book, and it's a pretty cheeky letter because I ended it by saying I will call your office next week to set a meeting, to arrange a meeting. I mean, you don't do that with Clive Davis. He lets you know when he might be available, but getting a meeting with Clive Davis in that time was like a Catholic seminary student scoring an audience with the Pope. It was seriously, he was a very big deal, the most important man in the record industry, was for quite a while. And I interviewed with a few people at CBS Records, Columbia Records, and then I finally got to Clive. And he offered me a job on the spot. I was dealing from a position of strength, really. I wasn't asking for my first job. I had a job, I had an MBA, and I was a musician. And, people were buying records like food then, and they almost couldn't make them fast enough. So they were hiring. And I got the best job in the world. They gave me an American Express card, a CBS corporate American Express card, and told me to go find hits. Nice.
So the fact you did that, was that just confidence or ignorance? What was that?
Oh, a combination of the two.
Okay, yeah.
No, I didn't have a lot of I had confidence that I had a taste in music that would translate to the public, that I thought that if I liked it, other people would like it, and that I could tell what was good. I thought I had an ear, and I signed REO immediately as soon as I started working there, really. But then I tried to sign. I came upon Kiss, Rush, and Leonard Skinner, and I was turned down by my label when I tried to bring them to the label.
Wow.
So by that time, they knew that I could hear. They knew that I had an ear because these bands went on to be pretty big, as you know. And then they asked me if I was interested in anything at the time, and I said, yeah, well, I'm interested in Ted Nugent, musically, not politically. And he, they said, they went out. My new boss went out to see him with me, and we signed him. And then I signed Cheap Trick, and then I signed Molly Hatchet, and I produced all of them for Epic as a staff producer, because I was still employed by Epic. They didn't give me a whole lot of money, so I left in 1982 and went independent and started to make a decent living.
But wasn't Ted Nugent was the first artist you ever produced, right? You jumped right in with Ted Nugent.
Yeah. I co-produced. They gave me co-producer credit because I was very concerned that if Ted wasn't a success, that I would probably not be able to keep my job. And because an A&R man has to, he's got to sign a few bands or a few hit acts in order to keep his job. So they gave me co-producer credit because I just horned in at the studio. I kept going into the studio, which was a couple of blocks from the CBS building. And I made suggestions. I didn't really respect the guy who was producing the album, who happened to own Ted's production contract. He owned Ted, really. So Ted appreciated very much what I did for him on that record and the four more I made with him. And they gave me co-producer credit, and bang, there it goes. And the first album was a platinum album, and I was a producer. That was it. So then I did my first solo album with Cheap Trick.
We're talking with former music producer Tom Werman, who is now retired, author of Turn It Up, My Time Making Hit Records in the Glory Days of Rock Music. That hair band era, and we mentioned Poison, the likes of Motley Crue, stuff like that. When that was happening, when that was starting, did it feel like in the beginning, did it feel like you were all onto something there, or was it, or did it feel strange? Because it took me, I was a kid when it came through, and I don't know, I think it took me a little bit before I adopted it.
Well, it simply happened. Nobody developed that. I don't know how it happened. I mean, how do we? We don't know how grunge happened. We don't know why all of a sudden Seattle became the creative, center of new music. In the '90s or the late '80s. There just was a proliferation of bands, seemingly most of them from L.A., where I was living at the time, and making records one after another. It's one band gets very big and looks a certain way. It's for sure that a lot of other bands are going to emulate that one, are going to try to adopt that look,
Yeah.
And join in the success. And it was a really runaway success. It became, very corporate. There were highly produced records and very finished. And then there was a complete backlash against that in the 90s where tuning and precision and timing weren't really valued by musicians. In fact, sometimes they didn't want them. So, they said, this sounds too good. This sounds too corporate. Anyway, it was just another trend.
Yeah. It's absolutely fascinating, and your career is fascinating, and we really appreciate you giving us time today. Thank you, Tom.
You're very welcome. It was a pleasure.
Tom Werman, author of Turn It Up, My Time Making Hit Records in the Glory Days of Rock Music. That album is available for pre-order now. It will be available on November 21st.
I grew up listening to my dad's vinyls from his college days, so the 70s. So I was listening to classic rock on vinyl from the 60s, the 70s, then into the 80s. And I know every generation, and of course that's not my generation, but every generation said, oh, well, back in my day. But don't you kind of feel like that 60s and 70s era was pretty groundbreaking? There was something special about that type of rock. Like it was moving from Elvis in the 50s to the Beatles to the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. That was, of course, and I think grunge in the 90s was a huge shift.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop becoming mainstream was a massive shift too.
But just different sounds, right? Hip hop very different from rock and roll.
Sure.
So it's just a different genre. But that classic rock, I don't know. There's something about the original generation of classic rock, Led Zeppelin, that its staying power is evident.
Yeah. Well, yes, I agree with that. I don't think it's any more staying than stuff from the 90s. And, like hip hop is massive now because of what started in the 80s and then really blew up in the 90s. So I don't think it's any more.
Well, not compared to hip hop. I guess I just mean, do you think the original iteration of hip hop will have more staying power than new stuff? I guess that's what I mean. Of that genre, the birth of it, the onset of that genre has a staying power that I don't think modern rock bands have. I don't know. That's just how I feel, because every generation knows about Zeppelin in the 70s in a way that I'm not sure 90s and 2000s will hold up. Maybe not.
No, I don't. It's great stuff, obviously, but I think there's been a lot of really good music, good artists with staying power that have happened in the last 30 years too. Amy Marks, Kors, and Chris Ranji. Hey, you got a thing? go ahead and do that on KMOX.
STL FenceWorks, proud and excited to install American-made aluminum and vinyl fence products, as well as American-made decking. For instance, STL FenceWorks teamed up with Jareth Manufacturing. If they sound familiar, that's because Jareth Manufacturing invented the aluminum fence industry over half a century ago. All of their product is sourced and manufactured right here in the U.S., and STL FenceWorks is the third largest Jareth customer in the world. They also have vinyl fencing, so it's not just plain white fencing. They've partnered with National Vinyl Products so that you can choose from tan, clay, gray, and variegated wood grain vinyl fence products as well. And my favorite part of STL FenceWorks is the decks. The decking at STL FenceWorks. They're the #1 distributor of Wolf Cellular PVC decking in the Midwest. That is the #1 maintenance-free decking product in the country. So let STL FenceWorks outfit your outdoor space to make it magical. At STL FenceWorks, your satisfaction truly is their passion. Locally owned and operated, family owned and operated, STLFenceworks.com.
Audi Kirkwood is under construction, and our savings are through the roof. Save big during our construction sales event. Get up to 10% off MSRP on select new in-stock Audi models, plus low financing rates. Choose from over 500 vehicles, including the A4, Q5, Q7, e-tron, and more, all with complimentary home delivery. Our sales and service departments are still open during normal business hours. Shop AudiKirkwood.com or visit us on Manchester Road in Kirkwood.
This holiday season, the Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for our holiday food drive. While supplies last, stop by any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 and receive a limited edition DGS holiday bumper sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign, or if you want to make an online donation, head to the KMOX.com events page now.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The people have spoken. I want to thank you, St. Louis, for voting Onder Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
His legendary soulful voice is unmistakable. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee Al Green returns to the concert stage. A night of iconic hits from the 13-time Grammy Award winner Al Green with special guest Betty LaBette. Saturday, November 25th at the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena and Ticketmaster.
Celebrating 25 years with 98 Degrees and celebrating 30 years with All for One, a night of their biggest hits. 98 Degrees and All for One. Friday, September 22nd, the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House box office, located at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster. 98 Degrees and All for One.
Hardee's newest handcrafted recipe, candied bacon, coated with caramelized brown sugar and a hint of pepper. Try it on a made-from-scratch breakfast biscuit with egg and cheese, or with charbroiled Angus beef on a signature Frisco burger, or as its own salty sweet snack pack. Any time of day, candied bacon brings savory sweetness to all your favorite things. At Hardee's, goodness in the making. For a limited time at participating restaurants. Exclusions may apply by time of day.
Medicare open enrollment starts October 15th and ends December 7th. Missouri SHIP, the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, is your trusted Medicare resource in Missouri. They're not an insurance company, and they don't sell anything. Counselors help you compare and enroll in plans. Check if you qualify to lower your medical costs and more. Call 1-800-390-3330. MoShip, assisting Missourians with Medicare since 1993. Funding provided by Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance through ACO.
Feels good to be home.
Our local Ashley store has the biggest and best Black Friday furniture and mattress deals going on right now. Literally everything is on sale throughout the store, including up to 75% off designer-picked holiday hot buys. Plus, you can shop confidently because Ashley's price match guarantee ensures you'll get the best price. So if you're looking for trend-forward styles at unbelievable Black Friday prices, shop your local Ashley store today, only at Ashley.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Consumer Cellular offers the exact same nationwide 5G coverage as the major carriers, even in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Their 100% U.S.-based support is just a click or a call away. Visit your local retail store in St. Louis to switch today.
We're back! Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Tours on KMOX.
We have another pair of tickets to give away for the Eagles. Not yet. We're going to do it next hour. We will tell you when. But we have 2 tickets to give away to see the Eagles February 6th at Enterprise Center. That is coming up in the 12 o'clock hour. Chris and Amy on KMOX.
What do you mean he's not coming in? This is our busiest time.
The mixologist at Claude's Bar is moving to Manhattan.
I'm already down 2 bar backs. No one's manning front of
Now he needs an equally cosmopolitan replacement.
How am I going to find a new bartender before New Year's Eve?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, this is Debbie Monterey. You are not alone if when you hear those ads or see those signs saying we will buy your home for cash, that you're just a few short minutes away from a real lowball offer, right? Well, I was talking to Gloria about that. Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And here's what she told me. It's crucial that you know the truth about these cash offer companies because you spend years earning equity in your home and then you decide to sell. A cash investment company buys your home for 15% below market value, puts a little TLC into it, then sells it for 10% above its original true market value. But here's what I can tell you. Gloria Liu is different. She has multiple cash buyers who bid against each other, giving you the highest cash offers to choose from with zero hassles, no showings, and close quickly. So learn more about getting multiple cash offers today. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888 or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Everybody needs an electrician, and Reinhold Electric is your electrician in this area and so far out, like Lake of the Ozarks, Kansas City, Springfield, southwestern Illinois. When it comes to residential or commercial work that needs to be done, they've got you covered. You need a panel upgrade, lighting installation, or some expert troubleshooting, they offer 24-hour emergency service. So keep their number, 314-631-1158, online at ReinholdElectric.com. That's ReinholdElectric.com. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
While no child should have to spend the holidays in the hospital, there are many at SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital who will not be able to experience the joy of opening gifts around their tree. Please join KMOX and give the gift of hope and healing to Cardinal Glennon kids and support the Tree of Hope year-end giving campaign. Your gift ensures that these brave patients can continue to receive the critical care they need during these challenging times. Thank you for giving at treeofhope.org.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news, KMOX.
At 12 noon, the news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Sunny sky, 64 degrees downtown at the Arch. A majority of United Auto workers in Wentzville have turned down the contract agreement with General Motors.
GM workers here in Wentzville are not satisfied, trending with other plants who are against
the GM UAW agreement, like in Michigan, Kentucky, Ohio, and elsewhere. President of the Local 2250, Katie Deatherage, tells me this really hasn't happened before.
It's a whole new process here on these negotiations. We've not voted down a contract as a whole in my career here in over 20 years. So this will be a first. We'll see what happens.
Deatherage believes there will not be an immediate walk-off by employees if the rest of the GM plants around the nation say no to this agreement. In Wentzville, Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
A new report commissioned by the FAA after a series of close calls for urgent action to make the skies safer.
The report found safety is being compromised because of understaffing with air traffic controllers, outdated technology, and chronic underfunding from Congress. Captain Dennis Tager heads up the American Airlines Pilots Association.
These incidents are clear indication that this system is beyond being under stress. It's on the cusp of something bad happening.
There hasn't been a fatal accident in the U.S. involving a major commercial airline since 2009. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
St. Louis City seniors are one step closer to getting property taxes frozen. Alderwoman Ann Schweitzer's bill freezing property taxes passed out of the Budget and Public Employees Committee. Schweitzer says this does mean the city would take back less tax revenue from senior citizens.
The fiscal impact is that every year the city would be taking in less from that senior who owns a home than they would if they hadn't passed this bill.
The average savings a household with the property taxes frozen would be they would experience $50 to $75 in the first year, but would grow from there as the tax remains frozen. A National Transportation Safety Board team is working at the scene of a deadly highway crash in Ohio involving 5 vehicles, including a charter bus filled with high school students. The wreck on I-70 east of Columbus left 6 people dead, including 3 students. Special counselors have been brought in.
Being in class with some of these kids, it's crazy what they went through. Especially for the ones that passed. I mean, I feel sorry for their families. I don't think I'm in shock, too. It hasn't really hit me with my teacher being in that accident and passing.
18 people were hurt in the accident that also involved a tractor-trailer truck that caught fire. The KMOX Business Desk, economic indicators.
While retail sales were down in October, the 0.1% decline was smaller than expected, and prior months were revised higher as we head into the heart of the holiday shopping season. Takeout car sales and other retail sales rose 0.1%. There's also another hopeful sign on inflation. Just a day after the Consumer Price Index showed no increase in overall retail prices from September to October, the Producer Price Index, measuring wholesale prices, unexpectedly declined by 0.5% in October. That's the most since April of 2020. Kimberly Adams, Bloomberg Radio.
Dow from Stifel's up 113 points to 34,940.
Sunny and pleasant this afternoon and warmer than yesterday, high 70 to 74. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, though 46 downtown, near 40 in some of the outlying areas. Sunshine mixing with clouds tomorrow, high 74. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Right now, sun 64 in Florissant, 65 St. Peter's, and 65 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Time to rewind. It's the Chris and Amy Rewind Recap.
As I mentioned, we do have tickets to give away to see the Eagles. That is coming up here in just a little bit. We will tell you when it is your turn for your chance to win those ducats. Eagles are coming to town February 6th at Enterprise Center.
And listen, if history means anything, these
Not
tickets...
the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, that's right.
The band.
Those tickets are going to be hard to get. So you want to win them here.
Yep.
They could just be very expensive, which is hard to get.
Yep. We'll be giving them away today, tomorrow, and Friday. Friday could be a very short show. So
You better listen.
At some point, not yet. Don't be calling in yet. People are calling in right now. I just said
my gosh.
nobody follows directions anymore.
No, they don't.
What in the hell? We'll let you know. So we did start the show today talking about our people in Congress and how, you just kind of what you want is a little bit of decorum, and you want there to be repercussions for people who are senators or House of Representatives, representatives in the House who don't really have that kind of thing, right? We want there to be some actual punishment, but there just doesn't seem to be anymore. This is not, I don't know, maybe I have a bad memory of the way things were a few decades ago, but it seems to me that if people in Congress behaved then the way they do now, in particular yesterday, which was an especially bad day for behavior, that there would be repercussions for it.
Well, we've just discovered that being unserious doesn't just come without any consequences, but that more times than not, it's rewarded. Being a clown show, being, as Vivek Ramaswamy said he wanted to be in the last GOP debate, unhinged is what people want. And it's, to me, it probably, specifically in the GOP, has something to do with the heavy populist currents that are overtaking the party. And that is a correlative of populism, is being anti-establishment and against anybody who's been a, quote, career politician. And listen, yeah, there's something to be said for somebody who's been in it a long time. It's time to step down. We know we have members of Congress dying because they're staying in until their final breath. However, you can't just dismiss or discount experience and relationships that are built and the ability to work across the aisle. However, if working across the aisle is not only not valued but looked down upon, then of course you want somebody who is unhinged, who says crazy things, to own the other side.
And that might be what you just said, one of our biggest, if not the single biggest problem in terms of politics, is that you have people, you have constituents, people who actually vote, who don't want theirs to work with the other side. They don't want the people that they voted for to work with the opposing party. But which is weird, because if you step back and take a 10,000-foot view, the numbers say that Americans want both parties to compromise and want them to work together on issues. That's what they want. But there are some representatives, senators who are in districts and states that are safe, and they will never lose their jobs. So there is no repercussion for it.
Yeah. No, and that's why we are where we are. And like I said, it matters as a Republican. One reason I am so critical of the Republican Party, because we are the bigger clown show at the moment, and there are more people in the Democratic Party who are more serious, and I disagree strongly with a lot of the policies, especially the ones that have just creeped further and further left. But the problem is, a clown show doesn't help counter progressive policies. I mean, you want serious politicians? Well, right now they're on the Democratic side. They're able to get more things done. Meanwhile, the GOP, they're not busy creating policies that they could persuade the American people to vote for. They're not busy creating policies that adhere to conservative values. They're busy making history by kicking out the Speaker of the House, even though they're the majority party, and doing things that have never been done before just so you can get a clip or a hot take on Fox News.
Which isn't how we should govern. But I've said this before, and I don't know that you totally agree with me. I do think that when you go into Congress in any capacity, doesn't matter what the job is, and your starting point is government is a problem, government is just too big, government can't work for you, it's incompetent. When that's kind of the way you see it to begin with, the body to begin with, then I don't know how you can be effective.
Yeah, and that's where my pushback is. I agree, if you hate all government, that's an anarchist. I think there's a huge difference between someone who believes that government is too big, too bloated, and inefficient, and someone who just thinks, oh, we need to burn the whole thing down.
Well, not even that. There are a lot of people who just like, well, of course, this is a government operator. They can't get anything right. You have people who are in government who talk like that.
Right. Because I will say,
well, if that's
what are we talking about right now? Because the American government and the Constitution, yes, I believe in that. And I think that our government, as flawed as it is, my goodness, I'm glad we have it. I'd rather live under this government than a lot of others around the world. However, if you're just talking about kind of the cliche joke that, yeah, it's a government organization or that's a posh job, a lot of times you do see inefficiencies because bureaucracies, by definition, are going to not be the most efficient most efficient units or as small as as efficient as a small business. That's just not how it works. So it does get bloated. It does get diluted. Efficiency breaks down. So I think you can both like our system of government and say, yeah, not super efficient. It's just not.
Well, but it can do good for people.
It can.
And
like
it does
Medicare
do
and
good for-
Medicaid is
yes, it does.
critical.
But again, I think this sentiment goes back to Reagan with the whole the scariest words, and I'm paraphrasing that I'm from the government and I'm here to help, which was, and people believe that today.
Well, and
they still believe that concept.
Yeah. And again, I think there was a lot of harm done with good intentions by government programs like Lyndon B. Johnson's Great Society, and the way it almost the way it did incentivize single parent families, and it hurt families that were in the lower economic brackets.
Yeah, I can't get down with that
Yeah.
because most people,
That's where like we would differ on policy.
Yeah,
I think the
yeah.
Great Society, Pruitt-Igoe, taking away homes from neighborhoods, to me, that did a lot of damage that we are still suffering the
I think
repercussions from.
in narrative, I think the narrative is worse than the reality because people talk like, oh, everybody's lazy. Nobody wants to work. They don't want to have an actual family unit because they get more money. That's just not how the majority of actual people want to live.
But I don't think it's
I don't believe
laziness.
that.
I think when you're coming down to some of those programs, it's not laziness. It's someone, especially a parent, is trying to make the best decision for their child. And if they can make more money through this program and being a single mother than by having a father and a job, they're going to make the wise financial decision.
But Amy, that they are called lazy. They're called lazy routinely by people who oppose social programs to begin with.
But yeah, and I would say that's where bad faith messengers do a lot of harm, because
Totally
just
agree with
because
you.
a bad faith messenger says something, it doesn't discredit the problem that from which their criticism stems. And I think that's where bad faith messengers ruin it for all of us, because if I tried to discuss a program or a problem that we have, and then you have some idiot like Matt Gaetz going, yeah, and they're all lazy and dumb. Well, Matt Gaetz is hurting my argument. That's what I said. When the idiots are on your side, it makes things difficult.
We spoke to Kaya Offiero, who's chairperson for the Dutchtown Community Improvement District, as that neighborhood is trying to combat crime on its own.
St. Louis City is really, where you live is sort of block by block, and urban neighborhoods are a little bit different than suburban neighborhoods, but crime happens everywhere. And the techniques for deterring crime or dealing with crime after it happens or while it's happening are the same, no matter where you live.
And they have a program with cameras, which is helping, at least the data tells them, they say, and that's what Kaya was telling us, that that is helping to stem some crime and at least solve some issues. There were break-ins and car thefts that happened that the camera system they have now helped to figure those things out. So wishing the best of luck to that neighborhood. But you asked a question afterwards, which was, don't you think there should just be more money from the city for that area that covers such a large part in terms of, the ground? Dutchtown is big. So you would think they would get funding.
Yeah. And again, I think community involvement is good, because we all grew up with neighborhoods that said we're part of a neighborhood watch program. You saw those signs. And I've been grateful for neighbors who have said, hey, there's, a truck, right? Growing up, like, this truck has been kind of looping around the neighborhood. No one recognizes it. Does anybody know why that person's here? That is what makes communities and neighborhoods great, helps keep them secure. I feel disappointed for members of communities of Dutchtown or Soulard who are moving to a camera system where they're all coordinating their personal camera systems to keep track of crime, not just because that's a healthy community, but because they feel underprotected by the leaders or the law enforcement that's available there. So that is something that is, it's an action that can help make the neighborhood safer, but it's a bummer that they're doing it because crime is rising.
Dave Grelly of the Playadors, a local band, and Joanna Sorenko, a local singer. in studio today talking about an album release party that's happening at Off Broadway in St. Louis on Friday.
The cool thing about the group is it's basically just a bunch of my friends who happen to be incredibly talented. And, you know, we like to feature different vocalists. So sometimes it'll be Joanna, sometimes it'll be Neil, Anita, Emily. This show is, I think, maybe the first time we've had all four of them on the bill. So I'm super excited.
It'll be a really cool thing on Friday. The doors open at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. The show begins. It is a double release party. And there are tickets available. If you want to buy them ahead of time, $15. If you want to buy the day of, they are $20. So if you want to go to the website, offbroadwaystl.com, you can buy tickets right now to see the Playadores, to see Joanna Sorenko, the album release party again Friday.
Are you going to be there? Are you still
I think
deciding?
So. If I am here, I'll go. I'll probably go.
Okay.
Probably
Okay.
go.
If you're, yeah.
And you can bring all the Megans you want.
Megan and I are going to go. I just told Neil Salsic, who, by the way, called you a troublemaker because he knows that I didn't take shots at him.
What?
He said, you're a troublemaker.
I don't believe that.
I believe it.
We've done a lot of musical things today. Tom Werman, longtime music producer. He worked with Poison and Motley Crue and REO Speedwagon and Ted Nugent. All kinds of artists. He joined us today.
I went down to their mother's house. She was managing them at the time in Orange County, and we had a very nice meeting, and we wound up doing the album. And it was these are among the nicest guys I ever worked with.
He's talking about Stryper. The band Stryper. He did some work with the band Stryper as well. So anything that you want to hear is on the website, KMOX.com, the Odyssey app. If you download the Odyssey app, AUDACY, you can hear these interviews. You can hear the show live. And you also, in baseball season, you can hear Cardinals baseball on the Odyssey app.
That's right.
It's pretty awesome. But you got to be in town. You can't go, to Colorado or something where Amy goes every week. You can't go there. You got to be here in town, but it's free Odyssey app.
Are you
it's awesome.
sure?
What?
You're talking. Okay, first of all, to listen to the Odyssey app on our show, you can be anywhere.
You can be anywhere.
Canada.
I'm saying Cardinals games specifically.
Gotcha.
Because MLB blackout rules, they take over. And
Did I tell you I had a friend fishing in Alaska?
Listening to this show?
10 p.m. at night on the 11:20 a.m. signal.
10 p.m. at night?
Not our show. Yeah, at night. Listening to KMOX, excuse me.
Yeah, it used to stretch. Well, I guess it still does. That AM signal is...
Alaska.
Yeah, that's right.
So see, that's why when a Cardinal game's on, you can just listen to 11:20 a.m.
11:20 a.m., 98.7 FM. Give that a try. It sounds really good. And, of course, the Odyssey app. That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. We've got Eagles tickets. Let's give them away right now. Caller 18 to 314-436-7900. You will go see the Eagles February 6th at Enterprise Center. This is KMOX.
We go where you go. 11:20 a.m., 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Planning a road trip this fall? Maximize your fuel economy by inflating tires to proper pressure and packing light. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Drury Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Drury Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm. Call today at 314-238-7360. That's 314-238-7360. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it.
100% on time, 100% guaranteed, 100% wow. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath delivers all that, all in 3 days. Here's how it works. Create a kitchen idea, give them 3 days, and suddenly your kitchen becomes the centerpiece of your home. A place where everyone gathers no matter how much room you have in the house. Every project is 100% on time, 100% guaranteed, and 100% wow. Invest in your family and your home. Invest in a kitchen with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. 3-Day Kitchen offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee and will complete the job to your liking, guaranteed. They're in and out of your home in 3 days or less with top quality products and a great crew. And they're finished on time with no delays. Get details now. Start at 3daykitchenandbath.com. That's the number 3, then daykitchen.com. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-728-8500. 800-728-8500. That's 800-728-8500.
His legendary soulful voice is unmistakable. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee Al Green returns to the concert stage. A night of iconic hits from the 13-time Grammy Award winner Al Green with special guest Betty LaVette. Next Saturday, November 25th at the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena and Ticketmaster.
Celebrating 25 years with 98 Degrees and celebrating 30 years with All for One, a night of their biggest hits. 98 Degrees and All for One. Friday, September 22nd, the Family Arena. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House box office, located at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster. 98 Degrees and All for One.
Work or play, KMOX is right there with you. We go where you go.
You can't hide your light.
Congratulations, Greg, in St. Charles. Going to go see the Eagles February 6th at Enterprise Center. We're still in the pre-sale, right?
I think so.
Tickets haven't gone on sale yet, and they are going.
I
They're
mean,
going very
listen,
quickly.
around the country, these tickets are the hottest thing out there.
Yeah, we still have tickets to give away tomorrow and Friday. So if you missed your chance, you still have a couple more. Just got to be listening to the show for your opportunity to win.
That's right. Okay, we talked about this at the beginning of the show, like the very beginning, but never delved into more detail. Andrew Bailey, Missouri's Attorney General, released the final report, you could say finally, in the investigation against former St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner. Remember her?
No.
Well, that's fair. She, quite the scandal with you could call it inept, incompetent, intentional, and negligence, which is what I would go for, because to be as bad as she was at her job, you would have to try. That's how I felt. I didn't know how anybody with even a modicum of intelligence could be as bad as she is at her job. And you know she has to be somewhat smart because she's a lawyer and she somehow got through law school. So you know she's not an idiot. So I thought at one point, this is how bad she was. I thought, what if she is like an anarchist where she just doesn't want any law and order at all, right? Which of course is ridiculous and hilarious. It's hilarious that I would even say that because that's how many cases she was dropping. And we talked over and over again about some of the highest profile homicide cases were being given to attorneys who were on maternity leave or on vacation. She was, again, criminally negligent in her job. Well, here's what we know. 25,000 cases were dismissed. 25,000 cases were dismissed under her tenure. 2,735 cases were dismissed by judges for failure to prosecute. Remember, there were times when the witness, the jury, the judge, the defense were all in court for the trial, and the prosecutor just didn't show up time and time again. That happened. She also had countless violations of the Crime Victims' Rights Act. We talked about her lack of communication with victims of crimes and families of victims of crimes. Well, this is the full report that's coming out with just how bad it is. And she was part of she had a history with a group, the Vera Justice Project. And I'm going to pull that up now. My computer crashed. But the Vera Justice Project, they are incredibly, I guess you could call it progressive. I don't know if you want to claim it or not, in their approach to criminal justice. They wanted to get rid of the word criminal because they felt that it implied guilt, which it does.
Yeah, I'm not going to hang to look, if you want to talk about incompetence and not assigning cases to attorneys who are around or people who know what they're doing, that's a valid argument. I don't care about stuff like that. I don't care about what we call criminals.
Well,
call them whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me.
Because even the president,
but I don't think it matters.
The president of Vera said that crime started to skyrocket. There was chaos and disorder. And he said, quote, "Maybe we've gone too far," you might have said. And listen, you're not wrong. End quote.
Yeah.
They were causing more
But again,
crime.
I think the other stuff matters more. Getting these cases solved and getting people on them to work on them, that's the important
But that's
bit.
what she wasn't doing intentionally.
That's what we were talking about. Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Hey, it's Dave from the DGS, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. on KMOX. So let me talk about my cast. Rachel Zimmerman, super smart young millennial. Kevin Wheeler, loudest, most confident, opinionated man you're ever going to meet. He looks like a grade school bully with the red hair, burr haircut. Then we have Andrew. It's been 12 years with Andrew. I'm still not sure what he is. That's 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day on the DGS and KMOX. Hey guys, Glover here from my friends at ThrottleNet. So I'm so very proud to have represented the guys at ThrottleNet for all of these years. They are the IT geniuses. George and Mike are the owners. Fantastic guys. They can do all of your IT. They can do a portion of your IT. They have the best Apple support team. Their response time is under 2 minutes. Think about that, under 2 minutes. Something goes sideways with your IT, and they are solving your problem. And they're solving your problem within 2 minutes. Now, let's talk about cybersecurity. Most companies in St. Louis don't have cyber liability insurance. You get hit, you're on the hook, you're probably out of business. With ThrottleNet, if we represent you, we protect you. The first $500,000 that someone hits you for, which isn't going to happen, but if it does, we pay it. $500,000. That's what you're covered for with ThrottleNet. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS for all the information.
Hey, folks, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, I recently received the nicest email from a local business executive. It read, "Hey, Charlie, we had Morelli out today to do tuck pointing on our chimneys, and they did a great job. Pricing was fair. They had enough workers to get it done in a day, and the cleanup was exceptional.
And then we should
Thanks
take one. Yeah.
for the recommendation." If you've noticed loose bricks or missing mortar on the walls, patio, walkway, porch, or chimney of your home or business, contact the masonry specialists of St. Louis since 1991, Morelli Tuck Pointing. You know, this is the company that's won the Angie's List Super Service Award every year, back to back to back, since 2005. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com, and consult the reviews on the Google, Angie's List, and Better Business Bureau websites. MorelliTuckPointing.com.
At 12:30, some sun, 67 degrees downtown at the Arch. Votes on the tentative contract with General Motors are too close to call with the UAW as more tallies are reported, including from Wentzville. Workers at several large factories who finished voting in the past few days have turned down the 4-year and 8-month deal by fairly large margins. Israeli forces have stormed Gaza City's largest hospital looking for signs of Hamas inside and beneath the building. BBC reporter Orla Gerlin.
He has never seen a single weapon inside the hospital, never seen a single Hamas fighter. He said there were tunnels under buildings in Gaza. He said, in fact, there was an underground city. But he said he had never seen anybody emerge from a tunnel.
Target hits its target.
The big winner today, shares of Target up about 17%, even though same-store sales declined nearly 5%. It posted an earnings and profit beat last quarter. That's thanks to fewer markdowns, better management of its inventory, and blowout sales of beauty products at stores. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Right now, taking a look at the roads, we've got emergency vehicles on 6440 going east at McKnight. So watch out there, 6440 east at McKnight. Some slow-moving road work on 70 going east on the ramp from 141 and also 44 east before 30. The right lane is closed there. Weather sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. For today, high of 70 to 74 degrees. For tonight, low 46 downtown, closer to 40 in some outlying suburbs. For tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 74. Chances are you have a lot of people who depend on you, your family, maybe even employees. Life insurance from Penn Mutual can provide you peace of mind and protect the most important people in your life. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. Right now, sun 67 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hey, it's Bo Matthews, and if invasive plants and trees have overtaken your pasture, roads, trails, or dams, then you need Missouri Brush Control. Their special forestry mulching equipment helps landowners reclaim their property. Enjoy your land like you've always dreamed of. To learn more, visit MissouriBrushControl.com.
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Men, suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE? Frustrated taking pills that don't work? Here's a message from Paramount Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Paramount Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough treatments with men lasting longer than ever without pain or surgery.
Call now. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results right in the office. Call Paramount Men's Medical Center now. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Audi Kirkwood is under construction, and our savings are through the roof. Save big during our construction sales event. Get up to 10% off MSRP on select new in-stock Audi models, plus low financing rates. Choose from over 500 vehicles, including the A4, Q5, Q7, e-tron, and more, all with complimentary home delivery. Our sales and service departments are still open during normal business hours. Shop AudiKirkwood.com or visit us on Manchester Road in Kirkwood.
Get ready, St. Louis. It's Medicare annual enrollment period. So why not make enrolling easier with United Healthcare? Whether you choose our online tools or over-the-phone support, United Healthcare will help you compare options so you can choose a plan with confidence. This is Medicare made for St. Louis. Trusted everywhere. Explore our wide range of plans by calling United Healthcare today at 1-855-MEET-UHC. That's 1-855-MEET-UHC. Annual enrollment begins October 15th and ends December 7th, so call today.
It's Billikens women's basketball action tonight as they face Missouri State. Pre-game 6:45, tip at 7. Hear the game here on your home for Billikens basketball. KMOX.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
I love the fashion fund.
Yeah, I'm sure you love the St. Louis Fashion Fund because they told you how beautiful your soon-to-be husband is.
I know, Mason Jar.
He is very handsome,
He's
though.
very
Yes,
handsome.
I know. I get it. He's a very good-looking guy.
It's like not even real.
The St. Louis in studio with us right now, Susan Sherman, chairperson of the St. Louis Fashion Fund, and Randy Fuse, president and CEO of Lou Fuse Automotive, is with us because on Friday at the Hawthorne is the Tribute Fashion Show to celebrate 10 years. There are all kinds of events, and this is the first one happening Friday. Hey, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You must be excited for Friday.
Well,
You must be.
I am. I've been to these shows for years. It's really interesting. They're produced by Mother Model Management, which is an agency in St. Louis that discovered Ashton Kutcher and Carly Kloss and all kinds of incredible women and men that walk the runways, Paris, Milan, New York, and London. So 800 people show up for this thing. Can you guys believe that? I mean, it's really something. And it's one of the major industries in St. Louis in the fashion ecosystem. So it's nice to be able to shine a spotlight on Mother Model as well.
That's very exciting. I think like you mentioned, Carly Kloss, St. Louis, Kirkwood native, right? Obviously a supermodel now. And then there were a few other that are making their careers as models. I think it's Georgia McQuillan, maybe Chloe McQuillan. They're from the St. Louis area with Mother Model. And that's really extraordinary that we have this here. I bet there are people listening who didn't know we had a fashion fund.
Could be. We've been around 10 years, like working and toiling away, trying to bring the business of fashion back to St. Louis, because at one point we had a very vibrant garment district, second only to New York. So we're trying to bring back more production, more fashion businesses here. I mean, I was just talking to Randy earlier. We're actually going to Jeff City to lobby as an industry with the fashion folks from Kansas City and Columbia as well. So, we just want people to know that it's a business and it's big business. And it's growing, and it's also a way to keep young people Carly is in New York, obviously, or Miami, or everywhere. But a lot of young people want fashion jobs and think you just get them in New York and LA. You don't. You can come to St. Louis and really make your business and scale it here too. So that's a message that we want to get across.
And I don't think people think enough about that industry as an industry where there are jobs and you can work. It's not just a thing, that we look at. People are actually employed in the industry.
And it's not just, it's models. We talk about all the ancillary jobs. You could be a social media person, you could be in marketing, you could be in sales, you could be in production, there's just a photographer, makeup, styling. It just goes on and on and on. So it really is a big ecosystem, as I just said.
Yeah, I was just going to add up. Until a couple months ago, I was one of those people that had absolutely no idea. And, talking with Becky and with Susan, I just was blown away at the industry and the dollars behind it and what this mission of the Fashion Fund was really all about. And, for us, we're all about making St. Louis better. That's actually our advertising piece right now. And so, trying to really, come together with different groups like the Fashion Fund and partner to try to make the community a better place. And we're just excited to be a part of it. So.
Yeah, I think it's important to reiterate that it is an entire industry, because we think about entertainment and movies and television, and the one thing you think is, what do I care about actors? Because it's not just actors; it's all these people who work on the shows, all these people who work behind the scenes. So it's an entire thing that we just don't really pay much attention to.
Right. There's a big supporting cast, and I'm just so happy that we're partnering with Lou Fuse.
Yeah.
They've been generous sponsors so far. And this is our first foray with this fashion fleet. So we're wrapping these cars for 3 different big events this season. This is the first one. The second is a men's fashion show at the soccer park in February. And the third is Michael Kors. Can't get any bigger than that, who's coming in to speak. Big free lecture at Washington University. So each car will be cruising around with a different wrap, and we'll be doing contests and all kinds of things too. So I just want to thank Randy. We've never had a car sponsorship before. We've had banks and, lots of individuals, lots of foundations and everything else. So it's really a pleasure for us to work with you and your team.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity. My family always pride ourselves about, you got to take care of the community, because literally our business doesn't exist unless the community comes back and does business with us. And so we really love the idea of the partnership and look forward to doing it for years. So, and I think the idea of wrapping the cars and having some input in that and watching y'all bring that to life was kind of cool, because it's a little bit newer business for us over at our VIP accessories. So being able to showcase what they can do was fun. So.
Oh, and that's Randy Fuse, CEO of Lou Fuse. And your name, the Fuse name is such a pillar in St. Louis, right? People know the Lou Fuse name. They instantly recognize it. So to have a name that you recognize, and for people, that emotional connection is important, whether it's a car that you bought, which could be your second biggest purchase next to your house, or soccer teams, whatever it may be, like having that emotional connection tied in with the fashion fund. I think really it's a great partnership because it cements it as a St. Louis institution. People, this is us. This is local.
And I should say it's our 10th anniversary. It's hard to believe. I mean, time flies when you're having fun and you're a struggling nonprofit living hand to mouth. But I have to say that this is a really important year for us because we're really trying to focus on industries in fashion that are doing great work. I mean, there's something at the end of January that focuses on BIPOC designers. I mean, we have the Collective Thread, which is a cut and sew facility that teaches refugees how to sew in the city, in the heart of the garment district, that we're doing something at the end of February with. And we love also the unexpected partnerships. I mean, fashion is unexpected. Tomorrow, it could be a whole different thing. Like people say to me, Susan, what's the future of the fashion fund? I'm like, changes every day. I can't tell you, because you got to keep up with the industry. But this is an unexpected partnership, as is St. Louis City Soccer. And we went to St. Louis City Soccer because of Lou Fuse, because I saw that they were sponsoring these amazing guys that love fashion in the pregame with their looks and everything else. And apparently that gets more likes on Instagram than even the game.
It does, which was crazy to us. So actually, Dan Gargan, our managing partner, was like, this is what you have to own this part. They gave us some options and he's like, no, you want this. This will get the most likes. So credit to him to kind of point us in the right direction there. But
are people saying that Roman Berkey has to walk in the men's fashion show?
I know. I'm
like that.
He caught a lot of people's
have
hearts.
Can we have the pick of the litter? And they're like, well, we'll have to see who's in town. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
What's interesting, you mentioned the talking about the fashion as it pertains to sports, and I think some of the most noticed, liked posts when it comes to NBA players, for example. People pay attention to what the guys are wearing walking into the building. There are cameras on them.
Absolutely. LeBron James, who's wearing Tom Brown. I mean, have we heard enough about Kelsey and Taylor? I don't think so. Kelsey wearing, this is incredible. And I don't know if you guys know this, but talking about business of fashion, Drea Rannick, who runs Luso Style, partners with Fanatics, and they are doing work with the NBA, baseball, Formula One. They're everywhere. And these are two women that started a business in St. Louis and decided to stay here and scale here. And Fanatics now knows that there's fashion in St. Louis, a huge company and everything else. But to your point, I want to say that I think a great panel, and I've already spoken to some people about this, would be about the fashion sports connection.
Yeah.
Because fashion brands are now, that's the next new thing. They're at the Formula One. They're at the dressing guys getting off the bus at the NFL games or whatever it is. And I think that's going to grow. So I'm so happy that we're doing this together, and soccer and Lou Fuse and Fashion Fund or whatever, because that's a really cool space right now.
Players try to outdo each other.
Absolutely.
It's I never thought that would be a thing, but it is. It's really unbelievable and a neat thing. So you've got the Fashion Fleet that is part of this event, and you'll have Susan, you said you'll have wraps around the cars.
We will. So we'll have 3 different. And the first one is finished. Been doing some things last couple of days with that. So it'll be showcased Friday night.
Friday night in front of the Hawthorne. Okay. We encourage everybody to come take your picture with the car. We just did a shoot this morning. So if you go to KMOX to Becky, or you follow Becky, who we all decided is a major influencer, okay, like national influencer, or if you go to Lou Fuse or the St. Louis Fashion Fund on Instagram, you'll see. Like yesterday, we showed the car being wrapped. Tomorrow morning, we'll actually be showing the shoot from today, and then you can see the car live if you attend on Friday night with 800 people who will be dressed to the nines, by the way.
Tickets are available at Eventbrite for that. And, you're in year 10 now. What's different from year 1 to where you are now?
Well, year 1 was really interesting. We focused on an incubator downtown. We had a 7,500 square foot incubator, and we raised $2 million to do a build out, hire a really fancy executive director from New York. And we searched the country for 6 designers who would come to St. Louis for 2 years and receive cash connection sales, a lot of mentorship, sales opportunities, whatever. With the pandemic, unfortunately, I could talk for hours, but just basically after the pandemic, we had to move out of the space. We didn't know where we were going. Designers weren't coming and whatever. So now we really pride ourselves on being the voice of the entire fashion industry in St. Louis. It's not just 6 designers. It's not just an incubator, but an industry that's alive and well and has room to grow. So that's where we are in year 10.
Yeah, that is I think again with you talking about the 10 years, you can't count all the years as equal because of COVID, and so many industries and so many organizations were gaining momentum, lost that momentum. But you guys again are growing. I think the partnership with Lou Fuse is just outstanding because again, it really cements that this is St. Louis. This is a St. Louis thing to have nationally and globally known members of the fashion community, whether they're designers or supermodels that we know. Tickets still available for people to go to the event?
Yes, tickets are available, and it's Friday night, and it will be a scene.
Eventbrite, if you want tickets. Let me ask one quick question from the car industry perspective. This is a thing that we've been paying attention to for a long time. Susan mentioned COVID. How has the recovery been on your end? Because I know for a long time it's been very difficult to get inventory.
You know, we were sort of blessed by being considered a business that was of need and remained open during COVID. So we're blessed for that. So, but unfortunately during COVID, certainly like a lot of industries, things shut down, right? Manufacturing shut down. So create a lot of demand. And these factories is unbelievable, but it takes them a very long time to get going. So supply and demand, simple concept, not a lot of supply, obviously a lot of demand. People are always in need of cars. So we've had a great last couple of years, and you know, we're using that kind of momentum to kind of grow in some different areas. One of them is in our aftermarket accessory business, like VIP and things of the nature. So things are good. Business is good. We just keep rocking and keep trying to find unique ways to support St. Louis. So.
Randy Fuse, President and CEO of Lou Fuse Automotive. Susan Sherman with the St. Louis Fashion Fund, chairperson there. Thank you for coming in, guys.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having us.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Well, we're talking about the Fashion Fund and the event that is coming up. We're also in the holiday season, so maybe you'll be going to shows at the Fox or at Enterprise. And it's at those moments, whether you're trying to watch a runway and see the details on beautiful clothes on display, or maybe you're trying to see your favorite singer or songwriter on stage and you're squinting and you can't see the details and you wish you had better seats, when really maybe you wish you had better eyesight. Well, now is the best time. Do it before the holidays. Call the Ophthalmology Associates at 314-966-5000, 314-966-5000, or yourEyeDoc.com. The good news is it's probably not going to cost a lot of money because your annual eye exam is covered by most insurances, so you don't have to worry about that. And in fact, you won't have to worry about dry, itchy eyes if you've been staring at your computer screen, or maybe the change in the weather affects your eyes a little bit. I know I've been dealing with that. See the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates, Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranja Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and now Samuel Berry. It's the great time. Do it before the holidays. Make sure you can see all the detail and joy. 314-966-5000, yourEyeDoc.com.
It's hard to believe, but the holidays are right around the corner. Can you imagine the joy on Abuela's face when you sit down for the holiday meal and chat with her in Spanish? Or drop off some cookies at your neighbor's house and chat in Mandarin? With Rosetta Stone, it's possible. Rosetta Stone's immersive method helps prepare you for conversations in the real world, whether that's connecting with friends and family or taking the trip of your dreams. The Rosetta Stone Unlimited subscription provides access to all 25 of Rosetta Stone's languages forever, so you don't have to pick just one. And their award-winning app features immersive 10-minute lessons to fit into even the busiest day. Plus, every subscription now comes with access to live lessons, where expert tutors teach you fun new words related to local holidays, cultural traditions, food and drink, and more. Don't wait. Visit rosettastone.com/radio today to score 50% off, now through November 22nd. That's rosettastone.com/radio.
Red Kingdom is back at Valley Sports Live at Ballpark Village Monday, November 20th. It's the Chiefs and Eagles. Pre-game at 6, kickoff at 7:15. Grab your friends along with KMOX and Bud Light and huddle up for the game at the best watch party in town. For more details on how to reserve your table, head to KMOX.com/events. Watch the Chiefs with KMOX and Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
There's an old joke about Uncle Sam's new tax short form. The first line says, "How much did you make?" The next line says, "Send it in." Really, not that funny, but that's what a lot of people do in retirement. They take money out of their 401k or IRA and end up sending it in when they pay taxes. Steve All of the All Financial Group invites you to take their tax challenge. What if your current plan included thousands of dollars in unnecessary taxes and fees, or maybe higher Medicare premiums or a lower Social Security check? What if the savings you realized could allow you to retire early? Wouldn't you want to know about that right now? Take the All Financial Group Tax Challenge and find out. There's no charge. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Hey, if you're tired of dealing with electrical problems at home or at work, look no further than Reinhold Electric, your trusted electrical experts. They have been serving the greater St. Louis and surrounding areas since 1976, and they have 24-hour emergency service. Their skilled electricians are ready to tackle any electrical challenge you throw their way. From residential to commercial, industrial, call Reinhold Electric today at 314-631-1158 and online at reinholdelectric.com. Tell them Bo sent you to Reinhold Electric.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Maholtra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Barry. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The people have spoken. I want to thank you, St. Louis, for voting Onder Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
RENNER, forward and back. Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. Renner Garage Door services the entire St. Louis metro area, St. Charles, South County, and Eastern Illinois. Sales and service. Renner, forward and back. RENNER, RennerDoorSTL.com. Giddy up!
More Amy, more Chris. What is this weird show? It's the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Amy, you want to hear about my near-death experience this morning?
Nothing would make me happier.
Okay, so, by the way, for the St. Louis Fashion Fund tribute fashion show, Friday, again, Eventbrite for tickets if you're interested in that. So I almost died this morning.
Oh.
Yeah, so my backup alarm is what woke me up today.
Your backup alarm. So like you set it for, what do you set it for? 9 o'clock? No,
9
you
o'clock.
set it for 8 o'clock and then your backup
No.
is 8:07.
No. So, the original alarm is like a little after 7 o'clock. And then the backup is like 7:25. That's the backup, right? That's what woke me up today because my phone alarm did not go off.
Isn't that the worst?
And my phone has 2 alarms on it. I have thought about this for a very long time.
Okay.
You ever wake up and your phone is just off for some reason, or
It's happened one time.
it's on mute, or something weird. And every time I set an alarm, I think, oh man, I hope that doesn't happen to me. Yeah. And I can't believe it hasn't happened. Well, today it did. The first 2 alarms did not go off, and then I picked up my phone, and it was every app I tried to open. It said this app is not running and it's closed. It was really, really weird.
Did you think you had been hacked by the Russians?
I didn't know what happened.
That's what I would think.
But I had started to think that because I had never once needed the backup, I started to think, I don't need to set this anymore. What if I hadn't?
You would still be sleeping.
It's possible because I don't like getting up early.
No.
And I tell you, I need the alarms to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it? And you get up super early
Well,
anyway.
yeah.
What a terrifying experience that we use. We
Mhm.
use our phones now, and your phones
So-
do weird stuff like they need updates, and they'll update in the middle of the night on their own, and they won't tell you about it. And then maybe it doesn't reset right. Aren't you
No,
terrified?
I am. And there are 2 things to this. One, right, if your phone goes off, because especially when I would, back in the day, do the sports reports in the morning, I had to set my alarm for 3:45 in the morning, maybe 3:30. And I was so terrified that I would sleep past the alarm because nobody in their right mind naturally wakes up at that time.
Correct.
I would set 7 alarms, but it's on one device. So the
Well-
device goes down, all 7 alarms are useless. Here's the second part. I accidentally discovered I sleep better when my phone is in a different room,
Oh, interesting.
but that never happens, and I use
Doesn't
it as my
happen.
alarm. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to, I have an old school alarm clock that every kid in the 80s, their dad had it. It's brown. It had the red digital numbers, and it was like a clock radio. Everybody had the clock radio from the 80s.
Yes.
I have one of those.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of either using that or even investing in a fancier alarm clock that makes sleep, white noise sounds and things like that.
My advice to you,
Yeah.
if you're one of the people who kind of are like me,
Mhm.
get a backup alarm.
Yeah.
But that backup alarm needs to be a completely different device. It can't be your phone.
No, it can't be your phone.
Also, this is a tip this is what we call consideration.
Mhm.
You need to be considerate of other people. And if you sleep next to somebody, you do not get to set 9 alarms in a row on your phone that go off every 8 minutes. You don't get to do that. You get a couple of alarms, maybe a backup alarm, and that is it. Stop waking up the person
Yeah.
sleeping next to you.
I think
it's
that's fair.
inconsiderate.
2 alarms.
2 alarms.
At the most. But here's the thing. It's really 1 alarm with a backup. You never let the second alarm go off if you sleep with someone in the room.
Big Blonde Dan texted in and says, when will the Ranji look with the hat and spectacles become its own official brand? That's very nice.
The Ranj.
By the way, Susan Sherman said she liked my spectacles.
She had to say it.
No, she didn't.
She took one look at you
She said
and
they
she
were
could
very
only
chic.
compliment you from the neck up.
I got nice glasses and I know it. These are nice glasses.
Neck up.
Nice glasses, baby. And I have a nice Patagonia sweater on too, so you can go straight to hell. Anything you missed on the Odyssey app and KMOX.com. Dave Glover's show is next.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/.